frequent gas and stomach pain for years.
I was bloated all the time with daily diarrhea.
At first, I thought it was what I was eating.
I kept thinking it was stomach issues.
So I did my research and talked to my doctor, and we finally uncovered the truth.
It was actually EPI, exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI, is a condition where your pancreas is unable to help break down your food.
It can lead to symptoms like diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, unexplained weight loss, and oily stools.
And EPI symptoms can be confused with those of other common digestive conditions, like irritable bowel syndrome, Crohn's, and celiac disease.
So getting to the right diagnosis meant being more open with my doctor about the severity of my symptoms and how often they were happening.
But there's good news. EPI is manageable, so don't wait any longer. Use the symptom checker at identifyepi.com and schedule a visit or call with your doctor to ask, could I have EPI?
Sponsored by AbbVie.
Don't mind me, just sneaking out to go to Kohl's. The home deals right now, they're too good to pass up. Like up to 40% off Cuddle That's Bedding.
Check.
Up to 50% off the cutest.
Should we do our levels here real quick?
And up to 25% off.
All right, welcome to Track Talk here on Sports Radio 810 WHB. I'm Scott Trailer. How's that back there, Blake? Does that sound all right with you?
Sound good.
All right.
So,
all right, we're ready to go for another 2-hour extravaganza here on Sports Radio 810.
Some exclusions apply. See store.
Big show.
Today on Hey Culligan Smart Home, Smarter Water Softener. Here's Kevin.
Hey Culligan, can a smart water softener lift those heavy salt bags for me?
Kevin, it can.
Wait, it can?
Yep, the smart high-efficiency water softener from Culligan can alert your dealer when the salt needs to be replaced, and they'll do it for you, so your water stays soft and you stay away from lifting the bags.
I mean, I could lift them if I wanted.
No judgment here, Kevin. We're happy to do it, and we're already on the way. Let us help you out with a free in-home water test with the local Culligan water expert at Culligan.com.
Want to learn a new language so it will actually stick? Try Babbel. Practice real-life conversations in the Babbel app.
¿Cómo te llamas? ¿Cómo te llamas?
Get personalized help in Babbel's live online classes.
Classes are limited to 6 people, so everyone can get the help they need.
Review words and phrases with fun games, or dive into the culture with short videos. Whatever your learning style, Babbel gives you the tools you need. Babbel. More ways to learn. Start learning a new language today at Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Hey, fight fans, it's Steven St. John, and I want you to join me Saturday, October 9th for Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder 3 for the Heavyweight Championship of the World. I'm hosting a heavyweight watch party at the Social Club in Overland Park. Doors open at 6, and the pay-per-view starts at 8 o'clock. Cover is only $10 at the door. You can also reserve one of the best tables in the house by emailing thesocialclub@kchops.com. Be there.
Kansas City's hometown sports station. Sports Radio 810 WHB Kansas City. America's largest all-sports radio station presents the #1 motorsports show for 2 decades. Track Talk, brought to you by Lucas Oil Products. Here are the Racing Boys, Scott Trailer and Kirk Elliott.
Good morning, race fans. Welcome to Track Talk here on Sports Radio 810 WHB. I'm Scott Trailer, along with my partner Kirk Elliott. We are the Racing Boys. Got Blake back at Sports Radio 810 flipping the dials. We've got Adam, Austin, and Todd helping us back here at Racing Boys HQ with all the cameras. Don't forget, you can always watch the show live online. You can do that through our Facebook page. You can do it through our Twitter account and YouTube. If you want to watch it on YouTube, you can do that as well. Or you can always watch it on racingboys.tv. Welcome to the show, everybody. We've got a great show lined up for you today. We've got some good guests lined up. We're going to visit with Pat Warren, the president of Kansas Speedway. Big weekend coming up out at Kansas Speedway here pretty quick. And we'll talk to Pat Warren about everything that's going to be going on that particular weekend. Also, Lee Spencer will join us for her weekly segment with the Racing Boys. And Trenton Berry from Racing Dirt. Big weekend of USRA action down at Lucas Oil Speedway, the Diamond of Dirt Tracks in Wheatland, Missouri. Population 600 and something. A lot of people down there this weekend, folks. Over 300 cars have checked in for the USRA Nationals at Lake Ozark Speedway. At Lucas Oil Speedway in Wheatland, Missouri. Also, this weekend, a lot of places, a lot of opportunities to go watch some good racing. Also, down at Lake Ozark Speedway in Eldon, Missouri, it's championship night for the Racing Boys ASCS Warrior Region, presented by Impact Signs, Awnings, and Wrap. Austin O'Neill, our own Austin O'Neill, that's here with us, one of our producers, and Gunnar Ramey battling it out for the championship in the Racing Boys ASCS Warrior Region, presented by Impact Signs, Awnings, and Wraps. And it is so funny that the Racing Boys car is taking on the Impact Signs, Awnings, and Wraps car, the two sponsors of the series. It should be a good one. Austin is a little behind, 24 points behind. Austin, let me get you up on that microphone there for a second. You're going into tonight, the final night of the season, right? You held the point lead quite a few weeks during the summer, but you find yourself 24 points out of the lead going into the final night. What do you got to do tonight to win it? Turn him up a little bit.
We just got to win pretty much. That's it. Just beat Gunnar and go out there and finish the year off strong and get a win and hopefully bring home a championship.
Now, you've done some figuring, and there's some equations that can you talk about that on the air?
Yeah, I'm fine talking.
Yeah. Tell me about what you have to do and how much you have to beat Gunnar by.
So I'm down 24 points.
Turn him up just a little bit more.
So with being down 24 points and the way the point structure is,
right,
I got to have a lot of distance between us two. So if I go out and win tonight, I have to hope Gunnar finishes 5th or worse. If I end up 2nd, it's 8th or worse. And then it just gets worse, down there.
So 5 spots in between you is what you need? How many?
Yeah, pretty much 5 to 7 spots.
5 to 7 spots. So all you got to do is just go out and win, bud.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's all you got to do. No pressure. Hey, did you enjoy racing for the championship this year with Gunnar?
It was a lot of fun. We had a lot of good races. Had a couple of bad ones as well, but...
Are you guys friends?
No.
No? Okay. I didn't know if you were or not.
No, not really.
Because sometimes you're friends with certain guys, some guys you just don't hang around with,
Yeah, there's majority of people here that follow the tour and race local are great people, and then you got, a handful of them that you just don't talk to, and you just race a little different.
Right. Well, you know what? You race them the way they race you, right?
Exactly.
That's exactly what you got to do. Well, go out there and get him tonight, buddy. We're all rooting for you as a Racing Boys car that's running around the racetrack, and you do so much more for us than we do for you, so we really appreciate that. We're going to be pulling for you tonight. It's going to be live, folks, on Racing Boys tonight, so if you want to watch the race, you can do so. Yours truly will be running the camera tonight, so don't lambast me if I don't do a good job down there tonight. But hopefully I can do a little bit better than Kirk did the last time he was down there.
I fired myself after a night at Lake Ozark Speedway. That was about a year and a half ago.
That was Kirk's last experience shooting live video.
But you do a good job, Scott, so I would anticipate you'll do well.
We'll do our best.
Yeah,
That's all we can do.
We'll be watching. And Austin, congratulations on a great season. By the way, it was a wonderful tribute for your grandpa last Sunday out at Lakeside Speedway.
What a turnout,
I really liked hearing all the stories and all the remembrances. So wonderful tribute for your grandpa, John
Austin,
O'Neill
you had to be
Sr.
pleased with that turnout out there at Lakeside, didn't you, bud? Yeah, it was a nice one.
Yeah,
it was really good.
All good. So, you ran the camera at Waikini for the National Tour race here a few weeks back. Did a good job. So you'll be fine.
I did it at Bulls Gap. I've done it at Lake Ozark Speedway before, so it won't be my first time down there. So I'm sure we'll be just fine.
Now, we got 2 broadcasts tonight. The other event is down at Tri-State Speedway in Pecola, Oklahoma, where the American Bank of Oklahoma ASCS Sooner Region, presented by Smiley's Racing Products, will be going up against the ASCS Mid-South Region tonight. And so we'll have that coverage as well. So 2 live broadcasts tonight on Racing Boys.
Yep.
And if you look at the Mid-South Region points right now, it's a very tight battle between Paxton Gregory and Landon Crawley, separated by just 17 points.
Wow.
Heading into tonight.
Final night?
That it would be. I'll check on that for sure. I'm not sure if that is the final night. Sooner Region, they've got a few more races left. Jeremy Campbell's all wrapped up the Sooner Region title. He's got a 124-point lead over Brandon Anderson going into tonight. But I'll check on that Mid-South region schedule here just to see if there are any more
Jeremy Campbell,
events.
a regular with the NCRA for many years, right?
Right. So as I look at the Mid-South region, that is it. Tonight is it for the Mid-South region. So
championship night.
Right. So we'll see at Paxton Gregory. And
that will be live on Racing Boys.
We're live on Racing Boys tonight.
All right. So tonight, folks, if you want to watch some sprint car action, you can do so. You can watch the ASCS Warrior action from Lake Ozark Speedway down in Eldon, Missouri. Or you can watch the ASCS Sooner Mid-South region from Tri-State Speedway in Oklahoma. So that should be a good night of championship action. You can watch it all on Racing Boys for $29.99. That's what our monthly subscription, or you can buy the yearly for $150.
Now, is Landon Crawley, is he Tim Crawley's son? Or who? How's that
Where
related?
have you been, Kurt?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. That's
for
his
those
son.
that don't know.
Most people know Landon Crawley is his
well,
son.
I'm just there are people that
you might be
that
the
don't
only
know.
one. You might be the only one that doesn't know.
Well, I'm just saying we've got listeners that just don't know everything that you know. So I'm just putting that out there. He's done a really good job.
Well, I think most educated fans realize that Landon Crawley is his son. Good little driver, too, by the way. This came up through the ranks, gets better and better every year. I think he's going to be a chip off the old block, just like his old man, 3-time ASCS National Tour champion. So Tim Crawley is his daddy.
Good to see Kerry Madsen behind the wheel of a race car last night. As everybody knows that watched the Knoxville Nationals, he took a grinding crash up there. Hadn't been in the seat of a sprint car since the Knoxville Nationals until last night. Jumped back behind the wheel of the 14 car last night. Started up front, but had to hold off Lance DeWeese by 0.081 seconds at the line to win at Port Royal Speedway last night. So, Kerry's not been in a race car for 8 weeks. He didn't show any rust at all last night as he picks up the preliminary win of the Nittany Showdown at Port Royal Speedway last night. Scott, that is a great racetrack. How many great races we've seen on that big half-mile racetrack? A lot. And it was another one last night. So very entertaining action at Port Royal Speedway last night.
Yep.
It's too bad for Logan Schuart, who looked like he was going to challenge Kerry Madsen, but he had to try to avoid a spun-out car up against the wall in 3 and 4 last night. And as he was, I thought he scooted through, but he clipped that car and did some damage on the front end of that race car, and he was done for the night. So it was too bad that Logan Schuart, who's a Pennsylvania guy, he almost picked up the National Open win a week ago. He settled for second in that. He's, Hale's not too far from Williams Grove Speedway. It looked like he was going to pick up the big prize at Williams Grove last Saturday night, but fell just a little bit short. And last night, some more bad luck headed his way. But good night for Kerry Madsen.
Yeah. Kirk, one of the I'm going to say this. I don't want to offend any IMCA people, all right? Please do not get offended. But they have the USRA Nationals going on down at Lucas Oil Speedway this weekend. They've had 320 cars in the pits. This is the first annual USRA Nationals. 289 entries, and then when you put the tuners in there, they had 320 cars total in the pits last night at Lucas Oil Speedway. Kirk, there is a very strong chance with the quantity of USRA cars and USMTS cars around the country and their stock car division that this thing down at Lucas Oil Speedway could grow into maybe bigger than the Boone Nationals. You think it has a chance?
I don't know. In terms of, the car count at the Boone Nationals, it's still pretty hefty in size.
It's like 700, isn't it?
Yeah, quite a bit more than what the USRA Nationals are, but IMCA Super Nationals had a head start. They've been doing it a long time. Now, they've had the USRA Nationals for a number of years. They've had it at different places in recent years. In Hamilton County Speedway up at Webster City, had a couple of years up at I-35 Speedway. Lakeside Speedway hosted the first event, so it hadn't been around as long, but it has grown every year, and they're at the perfect venue now for this. Lucas Oil Speedway is where this ought to be.
The nicest track in the country. Let's just
say they can handle a large car count, and it's grown into a big event.
Right.
In its event down at Lucas Oil Speedway. Should be a big night tonight as they wrap up all the championships for the USRA divisions.
And last night, Kirk, they had a lot of racing. Now, I don't know about you, but I could not stay awake late enough to watch till the end.
Yeah, I didn't make it to the end either.
But it paid $3,000 to win last night, right?
Yeah.
Right. They had dual A features last night, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yes, they did. And we had some repeat winners from Thursday night at the USRA Nationals. Chris Jackson and Dan Hubden each won feature events in the USRA B-Mod class last night. And in the USRA A-Mod division, it was Tyler Wolf and Dustin Sorensen winning the two feature events last night. So those are the winners in the modified class. Of course, they're running stock cars and pure stocks and, hobby stocks is one of the classes, along with stock cars that they're running down at Lucas Oil Speedway this weekend.
A bunch of cars.
A bunch of cars.
A bunch of cars, yeah.
Also got a bunch of cars out at Sweet Springs Motorsports Complex.
The Show Me Showdown.
Yes, sir. That is a big event for the micro racers, and Frank Flood seems to be emerging as the big guy.
Frank Flood
right.
is a stud. I'm just saying it. That guy wins and wins, does nothing but win. Listen, the guy makes a living driving a micro. Does that tell you anything, how good he is? 50, 60 wins a year that guy gets.
Well, on Thursday night, he won the non-wing feature on the A class. Let me get it straight now. He won the A class on Thursday night. Last night, he won the outlaw wing and the non-wing feature event. So he's got three preliminary feature wins of the 7 classes in the first 2 nights of the Show Me Showdown.
Where did Garrett Holsey finish? What Racing Boys car? Do you see that?
Was he racing in the
he ran in
which class?
He ran in the wing class last night. A class, A wing class.
I will look that up.
All right. I'm kind of curious to see how he did. Carrying the Racing Boys logo, so we always kind of interested in those guys.
Well, there's a lot of names here to go through.
Right, there is a bunch of names.
But Tyler Crow winning the junior sprint feature event last night. And in the other classes of the 4 that ran last night, it was Peyton White, the winner in the restrictor class at Sweet Springs Motorsports Complex. So they'll have the final run tonight and should be a big show.
All right, okay.
And one other event, US 36 Raceway has the IMCA Missouri Nationals going on this weekend. They had the IMCA Modifieds and the IMCA Sprint cars. They've got stock cars and sport mods up there.
Is that a 2-day show?
Night. A 2-day show. So they'll wrap that up tonight. Paul Nagel winning the IMCA Modified feature. And in the sprint car class, it was Nate Barger coming up with the victory. They had, looks like 20 race cars up there in the 305 sprints last night. So
one of my favorite tracks, US 36.
So that'll be wrapping up tonight. And we're carrying live audio coverage from Dodge City Raceway Park this weekend. Big night of open wheel action will be tonight down at Dodge City. We'll have the free live audio broadcast of that as we do all the United Rebel Sprint Car Series events.
Be ready to put
so you can listen to that tonight from Dodge City Raceway Park.
Yep. All right. Well, listen, folks. Our good friends at Kansas Speedway, we went out and visited with them this week, and Matt's such a great guy out there, man. What's that? Something's open up. All right. Anyway, we have got a pair of NASCAR Cup Series Hollywood Casino 400 tickets for Kansas Speedway. That's Sunday, October 24th. Got a pair of them right here that we're going to give away today. And what you need to do is call 816-833-8553. Todd, you going to put the number up on the screen? 816-833-8553. You want to win a pair of tickets? We have more than one pair, folks. But right now we're going to give away one pair this hour, a pair of tickets to the Hollywood Casino 400. That's October 24th at Kansas Speedway. It's the Cup Series. And here we got, I think the phones are already ringing. So we've got a pair of tickets to give away, and we'll probably give another pair away later in the show.
Hey, just to wrap up Dodge City Raceway Park last night, they also ran 360 sprint cars.
Oh, they did?
Down there last night. Jack Dover beats Dylan Westbrook
the gas man.
to the line. The Gas Man wins.
Wow.
Dylan Westbrook's second, Chris Martin third, J.J. Hickle and Jake Buback rounds out the top five last night. And the IMCA Race Saver sprint cars coupled with the United Rebel Sprint Series, Kyler Johnson, the feature winner at Dodge City last night.
I guess, did you mention Kerry Madsen edged Lance Deweese?
We talked about that a little bit ago.
Yeah. That was at...
now, you accuse me of not listening.
Well, no, I'm dealing with those guys.
Okay.
When you're talking, I'm trying to get something done over here. So
yeah, big night for Kerry Madsen after being out of a race car
I'm
for 8 weeks.
I'm directing, Kirk, while you're talking, just so you know.
I'm just giving you a hard time. You accuse me of not listening. So
sometimes you don't.
I had a chance to get back at you.
Well, no, because I'm actually doing something.
Okay. Whatever you say, man.
Yeah.
So, that's the big story last night was Kerry Madsen's win by half a car length, 0.081 seconds over Lance Deweese. I thought Deweese was going to run him down there for a minute. He started to get – it looked like with about 3 laps to go, Madsen had it pretty well covered. But Deweese found something in the middle of the racetrack, and it didn't take long for him to close in the gap. By the white flag lap, he was right on Madsen's heels. And coming off the fourth turn, he made a run at it and fell just a little bit short. So very exciting finish at Port Royal Speedway. And, of course, this weekend, the Roval at Charlotte is the venue for NASCAR, both the Xfinity Series today,
a lot of
Cup Series
down there
tomorrow.
Last year.
So there's some guys that are not in very good shape. We'll talk more about this with Lee Spencer coming up in hour number 2 of just who's on the outside looking in and who's got to really perform tomorrow at the Roval at Charlotte. Kyle Larson, he got caught up in a bad deal at Talladega last weekend. So he's still 22 points to the good heading into the Roval at Charlotte. He can't have any trouble this weekend. So it's going to be interesting to see how that all shakes out.
Also rained out was Friday's Jason Leffler Memorial at Wayne City. It was rained out. Wayne City, Illinois.
Midgets were supposed to be, so that got called off.
You hate to see that one get rained out because that's a great tribute to the late great Jason Leffler. Great friend of mine.
It's got too much rain there. Just couldn't pull it off.
Yep. All right. Well, we're going to take a break. When we come back, Pat's at 40, right?
Right.
So when we come back, we'll open up the phone lines if you'd like to chime in. 816-833-8553, 816-833-8553. We'd love to hear from you. You bring a good take, you never know, you might win some tickets. Right? 816-833-8553. The telephone number's up on the screen. Give us a call. We'll be back with more of Lucas Oil Products Track Talk right here on Sports Radio 810 WHB.
Track Talk. As your power steering pump ages, seal leaks may occur, causing the power steering system to lose fluid. Your power steering system may also develop an annoying squeal, and the steering may become more difficult to handle. By using Lucas Power Steering Stop Leak, you will stop the seal leaks, reduce slack in rack and pinion, eliminate the squeals and hard spots in your power steering system. It is guaranteed to stop seal leaks or your money back. Lucas Power Steering Stop Leak. It works.
Introducing a team of all pros. Never satisfied, they work hard each day to be the best. They are the Kansas City Chiefs, official healthcare provider. The University of Kansas Health System, your favorite team's favorite team. Passionate about what they do, they keep the Chiefs at their best, and they can keep you at your best. To learn more about the pros that the Chiefs trust, visit kansashealthsystem.com/Chiefs.
Hen House is celebrating their 98th anniversary. Their family serving your family for 98 years. That's your local Hen House market. Times change, values don't. Right now, check out these great specials from the Butcher Block for the weekend. Fresh 85% lean ground beef, ground fresh several times each day, only $4.79 a pound. Certified Hereford beef, top sirloin steak, it's just $6.99 a pound. Chicken breast, boneless, skinless, fresh, never frozen, only $3.99 a pound. And fresh Atlantic salmon fillets are just $10.99 a pound. Visit henhouse.com for these specials and more. Hen House, serving your family since 1923.
Make plans to join Royals General Manager Dayton Moore for a men's breakfast at City Union Mission on Tuesday, October 12th from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Enjoy a delicious breakfast with the opportunity to eat alongside participants in our long-term Christian Life program as we listen to Dayton's commentary and mission updates. And Stephen St. John will be broadcasting live from the event. Seats are free but limited. Sign up today to secure your spot and not miss out on this exciting opportunity. To register, please visit cityunionmission.org. That's cityunionmission.org.
Everyone knows Family Leisure is having the world's biggest spa sale. Did you know it's also time to save hundreds, even thousands on patio furniture, pool tables, shuffleboard, and more? You can beef up your entertainment area with couches, sectionals, and theater seating now on sale at Family Leisure. Make it a September to remember with special 810 listener pricing at Family Leisure. Spas, basketball goals, play sets, trampolines, everything for family and fun together on sale at Family Leisure. K10 in Ridgeview in Olathe.
913-888-7727.
Hi, I'm Fred Ramsey.
And I'm Mark Tobin. Hey, folks, if you're not busy Saturday mornings from 6 to 7 a.m., well, I hope you'll join us for the Midwest Outdoors, brought to you by Reed Chevrolet St. Joe.
Join us and our expert guests, and we'll be talking about hunting and fishing, dog training. We'll give you tips, pass along stories, and most important, share some laughs along the way.
That's right. We cover it all, from crappie to waterfowl, and we'll tell you how to cook it, too.
The Midwest Outdoors, brought to you by Reed Chevrolet, Saturday morning, 6 a.m. to 7 a.m., right here on Sports Radio 810 WHB.
The thing about the Home and Auto Bundle from Progressive is that by now you've heard a lot of ads about the Home and Auto Bundle from Progressive. We don't even need the words the Home and Auto Bundle anymore to tell you that you could save big with a ring-tailed lemur from Progressive, or that every hot peach cobbler comes with round-the-clock service and protection. And that's the thing about the goat with magic powers. You've heard a lot of ads about the sushi in Vancouver. See how much you could save with the Home and Auto with the Shaman in the Jungle from Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Bundle discount not available in all states or situations.
Track Talk.
Welcome back to Track Talk here on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Don't forget, you can always watch the show live in studio cameras on our Facebook page, Twitter, YouTube, and RacingBoys.tv. 4 different platforms for you to watch the show. Don't forget, the new podcast is coming up starting in February, Mostly Motorsports, brought to you by Lucas Oil Products. It'll be a show that I will be doing by myself Monday through Friday, starting at 11 o'clock. We'll go from 11 till 12:30 in the beginning. We're going to start out 90 minutes. Our plans are to expand it to 2 hours over time. So, again, Mostly Motorsports. We'll be talking about everything that's going on in motorsports, from late models, modified, sprint cars, NHRA. It doesn't matter if it's motorsports. We're going to be talking about it. We're going to have a ton of great guests on. That's going to start in February. The show is called Mostly Motorsports. We'll be talking about music, current events, anything that's going on in the world besides politics and religion. We will not be talking about that, folks, just so you know. So anyway, it should be a good show. Monday through Friday. We'll give you the start date when we get that figured out. It's going to be in February. And again, it's called Mostly Motorsports. It's going to be good. Austin O'Neill is going to be one of our producers. Todd Surprise. Got to have him in here to talk about music with us. Should be a good show. And again, that's going to start in February, Mostly Motorsports, with myself, Scott Traylor. And it's going to be weird to sit here and talk without my partner, Kirk Elliott, over there.
Well, I'll join you from time to time, just as a guest. But no, you need to fly this solo, this venture.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be about what you think.
Well, that might not be good. I'm just saying. I might roll off on it some kind of tangent, and you won't be here to pump the brakes.
I'll be listening, though.
You won't be here to pump the brakes for me.
Right. I'll be one of your three.
I'll just get in a snowball effect and just keep on rolling.
To take the note from Fred Ramsey of the Outdoor Show in the morning, I'll be one of your 3 listeners.
Well,
you'll have more than that, though.
We got more than that right now. So, yeah. Anyway, thanks everybody for tuning into the show. Today's show is brought to you by Lucas Oil Products, made in America, sold to the world. We can't thank Lucas Oil enough for sponsoring Track Talk as well as the new show, Mostly Motorsports. It's going to start in February. Been great sponsors of ours now for about 12 years now, Kirk, right?
Yep.
Yeah, they've been great partners of ours. We want to thank Forrest Lucas, Brandon Burns, Steve, Dave Wanzer, and all the great folks over there at Lucas Oil. They have been tremendous partners of ours for years and years and years, and we're going to continue to be partners with them as long as we can. We just love working with those guys. So, how about this? If we open up the phones right now, and you give us a good take, you might have a chance to win a pair of tickets. Now, I'm not giving a pair to every caller that calls in. You got to bring it. Right? Todd, put the number up. 816-833-8553. 816-833-8553. Call the studio, give us a good take, and you could win you a pair of Hollywood Casino 400 tickets for October 24th out at Kansas Speedway. What happened last night up at US 36, Kirk?
Well, US 36 Raceway posted a note on their Facebook page. We did not see what happened up there. We can only go by what we've heard and what they posted here. But I'll just read what they said here. We'd like to address an incident that happened tonight during a restart on the IMCA Sprint Car feature. This is from the US 36 Raceway official Facebook page. As we were coming to the green and the cars were entering the turn at race speed, an individual not associated with the track pushed his sprint car across the track just as a green flag was waved. At that time, our flagman did not know of the situation, but the tower quickly alerted drivers on the race receivers to whoa up. At that point, the front 2 of the 3 cars checked up, but the rest of the field did not have a chance to slow up, and it caused a 4-car incident on the front straightaway. Luckily, all drivers involved were able to walk away. If there is one thing that we feel terrible about, it is that there were race cars torn up because of an individual's action that we did not have control over. After the incident, the driver of that truck came back to the infield and asked one of our officials, "Did I cause that?" None of our infield officials recognized or knew who the individual of the push truck was, and he was politely asked to leave the property. Now, we know that this does not change the outcome of what happened, but safety is very important to us, and we would in no way, shape, or form purposely put any driver or drivers in harm's way during one of our events. We will do everything in our power to make sure that an incident like this never happens again. We do thank each and every one of you for attending Friday night's races and hope that many, if not all of you, can return on Saturday. So that's all we can go by. Like, neither Scott or I witnessed this event. That's all we know.
What it sounds like to me, Kirk, is some push truck driver took it upon himself to just do what he wanted to do and push the car across the racetrack. Probably didn't have a receiver or any communication with the race director, and just felt like he could get across the track before the cars got there, and didn't.
Yeah, it was an unfortunate incident. Thankfully, nobody got hurt.
What's amazing to me is that they didn't know who the guy was.
Yeah, I can't. I
know John Bowler, and that guy crosses his T's and dots his I's, and for them not to know who this guy was is a little
crazy.
That's a little unnerving a little bit for me. So, but they tore up a few cars, though.
Yeah. So, anyway, it is what it is. So, it's hopefully Nothing like that'll happen again.
No.
Anywhere.
Yeah. 816-833-8553, 816-833-8553 if you want to win a pair of tickets to Kansas Speedway's October 24th Hollywood Casino 400 race. We've got some tickets here for you if you want to give us a call. Kirk,
hey, there's one other thing I wanted to mention, and Todd brought this up earlier this morning, and we weren't aware. We don't follow the drag racing crowd as closely as we do some of the other
We will
venues.
on Mostly Motorsports.
Right. But US 36 Drag Strip had an incident back on the 1st of September that involved a driver by the name of Mike Kuhn. And he's had some surgeries to repair, I guess, his feet. And KU Med Center has been where he's been. I guess he's home now. But it was a terrible accident, and he was life-flighted from US 36 Drag Strip on the 1st of September to the KU Med Center, underwent surgeries. He'll have more surgeries. And then I see a recent post from the family, Bonnie Kuhn post, sorry about falling behind on updating. Mike got to come home for about 2 weeks ago and is now back at KU for another surgery that he had on Wednesday. Other than a little nausea and pain, he rocked it out as usual. He should be able to come back home. This was today or yesterday.
Oh.
So he should be back home.
Good
Not
news.
sure if this is the last surgery, but they'll find out later. So I just wanted to put that out there. Mike Kuhn, injured severely in an accident in a drag car at the US 36 Drag Strip a few weeks back, on his road to recovery. So best wishes to him.
I guess people are scared to talk to us, Kirk, like we're going to disagree with them or something. I don't know.
Maybe it's because we only got 3 listeners.
No, there's
No?
a lot more watching online here. So
they don't want to tangle with you. That's the thing.
I don't know what that's all about.
You know, we don't normally take calls on this show, so they're not used to, not used to calling in and expressing their opinion.
Listen, and that's going to be the difference between this show and Mostly Motorsports. In fact, let's be fair, Kirk. This show on Saturday mornings is probably going to get a lot of best of our Mostly Motorsports show. Because, listen, we can get guests during the week all day long. People don't mind getting up at noon and coming on the show and doing an interview with us, right? So we're going to have some of the best guests in the nation on Mostly Motorsports starting in February. So it's all brought to you by our good friends at Lucas Oil Products. Again, we want to thank them for coming on board again, not only with Track Talk here, but as well as Mostly Motorsports that will air exclusively on all the apps where you can find all your apps and all of our social media platforms as well.
We're hoping to get an interview with Kevin Harvick here this next week.
Next week, we'll have Kevin Hart.
We'll find out if he's in or out of the playoffs, because this is do or die.
They need Kevin Harvick in the playoffs.
And Kevin Harvick right now is on the outside looking in. He's 9 points back of the 8-man cutoff.
Listen,
so he's got work to do.
Let me ask you this. Are you going to bet against Kevin Harvick?
I'm not going to bet against him.
Don't
but
ever
who's
bet
he got to
against
beat out? Kyle Busch is 8th. Chase Elliott is 7th. Ryan Blaney is 6th. Martin Truex 5th. Keselowski 4th. Joey Logano 3rd.
That doesn't mean
Kyle
anything.
Larson 2nd. And, of course, Denny Hamlin, he's already
locked in.
locked
That doesn't mean anything. How many points out is Kevin Harvick from getting in?
9 points.
And who is he 9 points behind?
Kyle Busch.
Kyle Busch. That's not going to be easy.
No, it's not. It's not going to. They got the defending champion Chase Elliott right ahead of Busch. So, and Blaney, he's won 3 races this year. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. But, it's hard to bet against Kevin Harvick, but it's going to be really difficult to make it happen.
Do you see where Michael Annett is retiring from full-time competition following the 2021 season, Kurt? Did you see that?
Yeah, he was involved in an accident earlier this year and was out of the race car for a number of weeks, and nobody really knew, for sure just what the nature of his injuries were. But, there was one race earlier this year we thought he was going to run. I think it was Atlanta, and all of a sudden they pulled him out of the race car at the last minute and wasn't able to run. So Apparently his injuries are just a little more serious than we thought, but could be other reasons why Michael Annett is stepping out of the car too. But
right,
yeah,
Jimmy Johnson is getting some NASCAR offers. Did you hear about that, Kurt?
Yeah. So what do you think about that?
Well, I mean, he's still weighing out his Indy 500 options right now. I mean,
I'd go run the Indy 500 if I'm.
I would run the Indy 500, then go back to NASCAR.
I thought he was done with NASCAR.
Listen, you got to scratch that itch, bud. I'm just telling you, he's a competitive guy. You can't imagine a guy with 7 championships just throwing his hands up in there and saying, I'm walking away, I'm done. It would be much harder than that.
Well, if there's an open seat somewhere, it'd be hard to turn down a 7-time champion.
Well, listen, especially if it was in a quality team, a team that had championship caliber written all over it, then maybe you might go over there and do it, right? You don't want to take a Chip Ganassi ride. You don't want to take a lower tier ride.
But Ganassi, he's out, right?
Oh, yeah, he's out.
He's done.
Yeah.
So would it be for the Trackhouse Racing team? They've already got their driver's hole lined up.
I don't know who it would be for. Let me see if they say.
I'd never heard that Jimmy was interested in coming back to NASCAR.
You should read a little bit more.
Yeah, I missed that.
Says right here, Jimmy Johnson getting NASCAR offers, but still weighing Indy 500.
He's getting offers, but is he really interested in coming back?
Well, yeah. He's interested. Why wouldn't he be?
There's a difference between getting offers and then interested in really coming back.
Oh.
If I were I'd really want to go try that Indy 500. Put that on my resume if you could.
Well, you could do that, or maybe go out and break your legs and never walk again driving Indy 500.
Yeah, but I do think that Jimmy doesn't think about those types of things, that he might get hurt.
I bet his wife does.
Yeah, his wife. Yeah, no doubt about that. Chandra would be saying, "No, don't do that." But would Jimmy be thinking about getting hurt in a race car? I don't think so.
Well, Jimmy is definitely interested. He says as much in his quotes that he's interested in going back to NASCAR.
Well, we'll see what happens.
Why not?
There's not many open seats out there yet, but again, if you're a 7-time champion, you'd make room for Jimmy Johnson, would you not?
For sure. Yeah. Why don't we get on to our break, Blake? We'll take a break now, and then when we come back, we'll have a little bit more time with Pat Warren, president of Kansas Speedway. You want to do that?
Absolutely.
All right, here we go. Stand by. We're going to take a break. When we come back, our first guest of the day, Pat Warren, the president of Kansas Speedway, joins the Racing Boys next here on Lucas Oil Products Track Talk on Sports Radio 810 WHB.
Track Talk.
Next to your vehicle's engine, your transmission is the most important component of your car. If it's not properly maintained, your car may not shift properly. By adding Lucas Transmission Fix to your transmission, it cleans and lubricates sticking valves for proper shifting, renews worn bands to stop slipping, stops seal leaks, will not void new car warranties, contains no harmful solvents. Lucas Transmission Fix. It works.
This is Chad with 810. Losing weight sucks. At least it did before I got help from Shaman's Leewood Total Wellness. I met with Dr. Kapoor, and he's got me on a program that's finally working. I'm not hungry, I'm not cranky, and I've lost over 20 pounds in just 6 weeks. Their team is easy to work with, and it's not just a pill, it's weight loss coaching, and it works. Check them out at shamantotalwellness.com or call 913-227-9150. Remember, life is better with the feather.
The Whole Person connects people with disabilities to the resources they need to live independently and enjoy the many opportunities this great city provides. We're focused on creating a fully accessible community where opportunities and choices are not limited by disability. The Whole Person delivers programs and services that enhance the confidence of people with disabilities by providing the skills needed to live, learn, and work in the Kansas City Metro. The Whole Person serves both Missouri and Kansas. Learn more by visiting thewholeperson.org.
Your Kansas City Acura dealers are partnering with quarterback sensation Patrick Mahomes in support of his charity, 15 in the Mahomies, a foundation dedicated to improving the lives of children by focusing on health, wellness, and providing resources for communities in need. Test drive any Acura at J. Wolf Acura and J. Wolf Acura of Overland Park, and they'll make a donation on your behalf. Plus, you'll be entered for a chance to win a Patrick Mahomes jersey. Shop, save, and make a difference at your Kansas City Acura dealers.
It's time to get geared up for your next tailgate or home watch party at your local Westlake Ace Hardware. Let their grilling experts help you choose the right grill for your family from the best brands like Traeger wood pellet grills, Weber gas grills, and Big Green Egg charcoal grills. Don't forget to check out the expansive selection of sauces and rubs in the Backyard Barbecue Shop. Around the block when you need in stock with people who know their grills. Stop by the Backyard Barbecue Shop today inside your neighborhood Westlake Ace Hardware.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Did you know the arrow in Amazon's logo represents A to Z? Maybe the My Computer Career logo should represent unemployed to employed. Ryan was out of work when he started classes in March. In September, he started his IT career, working for Amazon, making more money than he ever thought possible. Here's a prime opportunity. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today. You could start your new life as an IT pro in as little as 4 months. It's not rocket science. It's mycomputercareer.edu.
A KC tradition since 1957 and voted the best steak in Kansas City, Hereford House is a locally owned steakhouse that has served generations of Kansas Cityans. Hereford House exclusively serves certified Hereford beef. All their steaks are aged 21 days, hand-cut daily, and grilled over an open charcoal flame. Go to HerefordHouse.com for hours, new menu items, and to make your reservations. Follow Hereford House on Facebook and Instagram for exclusive specials. Hereford House, voted Kansas City's favorite steakhouse.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
I'm attorney Mike DePasquale. I played linebacker. I won a state championship. I played Division I ball. I know a thing or two about winning. A winning attitude starts with confidence. My law firm is so confident in what we do that if we take your injury case and we don't win, you don't pay us a dime. So if you've been hurt, call me. My team wants to win for you. I've got this.
Mike's got this. All you need to know. 816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Track Talk.
Welcome back to Track Talk here on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Don't forget hour number 2 exclusively on our social media. You can watch us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, RacingBoys.tv. Don't forget about the new show coming up in February, mostly motorsports. It's going to be a little bit different. I'll be the host of that show. Kirk Elliott will not be sitting in with me. That's going to be kind of like working with one arm.
And no, I didn't get fired.
No, you didn't get fired. No. Kirk is retiring. So that is the news.
I'm not retiring from being a race fan, though.
No, you'll still go to the races.
Yes, sir.
I know that. All right, joining us now on the show is a longtime friend of the Racing Boys. Does such a great job with Kansas Speedway and his staff out there and everything that goes on. Pat Warren joins us now on the show. Pat, how you doing?
I am doing great. I really appreciate you guys having me on this morning.
Hey, it's just about here. 15 days, 5 hours, 13 minutes, and 3 seconds is officially what the clock says on the Kansas Speedway's website. So we're right around the corner from another great event coming out to Kansas Speedway.
You are right, and we are ready to go. You know, we're going to have 3 great races on the weekend. We've got 3 of the 4 NASCAR series. We've got the Xfinity Series. We've got the ARCA Championship. And then on Sunday, we've got the Cup Series. Next year, we'll have all 4 because we'll add a Truck Series race.
Oh, yeah. Wow. Pat, how difficult – now, fans-wise, you can have as many fans in as you want this year, right?
Yeah, we don't have any social distancing requirements for the fall race. And, you know, we have some COVID protocols in place.
Sure.
It's you know, outdoors, pretty much everyone has agreed that the risk is low from this. So,
right.
You know, for everybody in the grandstands, it's going to be almost a completely normal event.
Man, normal is something that we haven't seen in such a while. And tell me, as far as your job and how you've handled this last year's worth of all these headaches and all these hoops that we got to jump through. Just tell us how difficult that's been for you as the president of Kansas Speedway, Pat.
I would say, and I think this is probably true for anybody that's in the event business, whether it's football, baseball, whatever. We've done more work in the last year to bring fewer fans in than we ever do because of the restrictions than at any point in my life. It's just unbelievable because it's actually more work and more costly to have 10,000 fans at a race with COVID protocols than to have 40 or 50,000 fans without them.
What is the biggest challenge to you? I mean, you probably have to oversaturate a little bit more in your marketing strategies a little bit, I would think, just to make sure that you get 10,000 people in there. But give me a little insight on how you try to attract people to get them into the racetrack when you're dealing with such a low number.
Well, when we had a low number, actually, the problem was we had to turn people away. We'd sold more tickets than we had seats.
Oh, I see.
So we had that uncomfortable situation, and we weren't alone. But because of our season ticket, we had sold so many tickets in advance of the pandemic that it created an issue for us. But I would say the biggest challenge, and I think it's the same, for everybody on the planet, but certainly in the United States, is just the uncertainty. In May, we had the unified government dropped its mask mandate 3 days before our race. And that's fine. And look, I, as much as anyone, wants things to be completely back to normal, believe me. But we as a sport, and, we got a big facility, we had told people you got to wear masks. And so we weren't in a position to reverse that decision 3 days before our event, or to say you don't have to social distance, even though that wasn't required anymore either. And so it's just tough, when you have to work for months under one set of rules, and then 3 days before your race it changes. It's not everybody's fault. It's just unfortunate.
Yeah, when you work around somebody else's plans, they're not your plans, and that it gets it really just kind of cloudy at that point. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, that's right.
Hey, Pat,
but we're not there anymore.
That's right. That's a good thing.
That's what I was just about ready to talk about. There's a lot of pent-up demand out there. The momentum of NASCAR is really coming back. I mean, we see these young stars really take a hold of the sport. It's rejuvenized by the different schedule, the different venues. I can feel it. I know Scott says the same thing. We can all feel the pent-up demand out there that NASCAR is beginning to go. This thing is about ready to explode, is it not?
Pat, can't you see the attendance growing? I mean, when I watch TV, I see the attendance growing in the grandstands as we're watching this year go by.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of races with more fans than we had in 2019. And I think we're going to be in that situation, which is great. I'm hesitant to say we're going to see the boom times that we saw in the 90s and the early 2000s.
Right.
Because I think we all got a little bit ahead of ourselves, and we built our facilities a little bit more than we should have, and probably got a little bit higher on the horse than we might have been if we'd been thinking clearly. But no, I think it's a great time for our sport, and there's certainly, us in the NFL are the only two live sporting events that are either flat or up in live television viewership. Everyone else is down, and that says something. There's a reason for that.
Right. How much do you owe Kyle Larson to the resurgence of some of the younger fans and some of the younger drivers, for that matter? Maybe it's not all Kyle Larson, but now we're starting to see people start rooting for some of the other drivers that have came into the sport. It's taken a little while for those drivers to resonate with some of the fans, but it seems like they're starting to get a little grip. And that might be the reason that we're seeing more fans get attracted to our sport.
Yeah, I think that's part of it. And I also think part of it is that some of the younger guys didn't grow up in the sport when it was completely exploding and sort of unmanageable in some ways.
Good point.
And so they're I don't want to say they're fan friendlier, but they have a different approach to the fans. I mean, if you were, and I'm not being critical of anyone who raced in sort of what I'll call, the heyday of our sport, 15, 20 years ago.
Right.
But it was hard to live a normal life as a driver at those times because everybody wanted a piece of you all the time. And now I think it's a little bit more manageable, and I think people have a sense that it can go away. If we don't do our jobs, it can and will end. And so I think people are more willing to do things and try harder to make the events better and to treat our fans better. We need to do that.
And I think the drivers understand that as much as anybody. They're willing to reach out to the fans more so than maybe 10 or 15 years ago, too. I noticed that. So I think everybody's more appreciative of the situation that everybody is in right now. Nobody is taking anything for granted, right?
Yeah, I think that's true. And, I'm not a big social media guy personally, but I think that helps. I think our drivers are engaged on it, and that really helps bring young people into the sport. We're a sport that's built for social media just because of the noise and the fact that you can interact on social media during an event in a way that you can't, in some ways, in any other sport, but certainly no other sport has embraced it the way we have. And so, I think all those things lend strengths to us that others don't have when they're trying to bring in a younger crowd.
Yeah. Pat, before we let you go, we're up to the last couple minutes in the show. I need to ask you, who's the talent going to be out there this year? Who's the musical talent?
I should know, and I apologize. It's
Mitchell Tenpenny is the name I heard.
Mitchell,
there you go.
Mitchell Tenpenny.
Right.
Yes, Mitchell Tenpenny. He's a
new country
NASCAR
star.
fan.
Right.
What is he?
Yeah.
What kind of music is he? Kurt?
Country.
Is he?
Country.
Yeah.
All right. I've never heard of Richard Tenpenny.
We've been pretty lucky in bringing in stars just before they take off, and I think this is another one that's going to be that. And we always you get these lists from the agents about what they want this guy to do, and you hear the stories about no red M&Ms or whatever.
Right.
But all this guy wanted was to be able to watch the race.
That's it.
So he and a couple of friends are going to be at the track, after the race, and they really want to watch it. So I'm excited about that.
So
anytime you can get somebody new to the sport and get some interest like that, that's fun.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't think he's new to the sport. I think he's a fan already.
He's a real fan.
Yeah, he's already been a fan.
Perfect.
Absolutely.
That's right.
That's even better.
People want to buy tickets. How do they go about doing it? There's availability out there for both days, Saturday and Sunday, here in a couple of weeks, right?
Yeah, I would say if you've been to the track before, I'd go to our website, kansasspeedway.com. If you haven't been to the track before, I'd call 866-460-RACE and talk to one of our ticket agents, and they'll be able to help you because they can sort of guide you through the process, especially for a first-time fan. I think it's better to talk to a person maybe than to buy it online.
All right, Pat. Well, thanks so much for taking the time to join us on the show, and we'll keep up to speed with you on Mostly Motorsports. We appreciate everything you do for us, and can't wait to get out there in 15 days.
Thank you, guys. I look forward to seeing you soon.
All right. Thank you, Pat.
Thanks, Pat.
There's the president of Kansas Speedway, Pat
Good
Warren.
guy.
Good
60.
guy. Yeah, really good guy.
He is fan-friendly, I'll tell you that.
Kirk, let's remind everybody what we've got going on broadcast-wise tonight.
We've got two events. The Racing Boys ASCS Warrior Region, presented by Impact Signs, Awnings, Wraps. Tonight, season finale, Lake Ozark Speedway and the ASCS Warrior and Mid-South regions at Tri-State Speedway, Pecola, Oklahoma.
And
both
that's
those broadcast tonight.
Those are both championship nights, right?
Not the Sooner region. The Mid-South is a championship.
Oh, okay.
Sooners got a couple more races.
All right, don't forget, hour number 2 is coming up right around the corner. You can watch it on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, or racingboys.tv. Want to thank Blake back at Sports Radio 810 for helping out. Also, Adam, Austin, Todd here at Racing Boys HQ.
10.
For Kirk Elliott, I'm Scott Traylor. We'll see you right around the corner. Thanks for listening to Track Talk, all brought to you by Lucas Oil Products here on Sports Radio 810 WHB.
Hi, Chiefs fans.
Thanks,
this
man.
is
Appreciate
Clark
it.
Hunt.
Have a good
if
day.
you have an urgent orthopedic or sports injury, the University of Kansas Health.
Taking care of your car is a responsibility. It ensures the long life of your car and its expensive components. That's why Lucas Oil takes automotive protection so seriously. Lucas heavy-duty oil stabilizer bonds with motor oil to shield engines from heat and wear. So take pride in caring for your car and pass that pride and knowledge to the next generation for years of smooth, reliable driving on the long road ahead. Trust Lucas Oil. It works.
reasons for poor vehicle performance is a dirty fuel system. It can cause decreased fuel economy and actually do harm to your engine over time. By adding Lucas Fuel Treatment to your vehicle, it cleans and lubricates the entire fuel system, pump, carburetors, fuel injectors, and valves as you drive. It also improves your vehicle's performance. It's a non-solvent product designed to protect both gasoline and diesel engines. Lucas Fuel Treatment. It works.
Rod End Supply is involved with a variety of motorsports as well as industrial applications with many different types of products. Since 1989, Rod End Supply has provided superior products priced competitively. Whether you're racing at the circle track or drag strip, rock climbing, or going off-road, Rod End Supply has an assortment of rod ends, radius rods, and specialty products to keep your equipment moving. Rod End Supply's experienced staff is ready and willing to help you with your needs. Their promise is to continue to provide a superior product with superior service so you can stay in front of the field no matter what it is. To learn more, go to rodendsupply.com.
Spirit Specialty Sportswear in-house. We do all of the screen printing, all the embroidery. We do some vinyl. The other add specialty items like your pens, magnets, notepads, calendars. You can actually buy that, build your business to make it larger. We have the largest screen printing process and the largest embroidery anywhere around in the area. We can do stuff all the way from your school clubs to sports teams, a professional look in the office. If you can imagine it, we can do it for you.
There is less than 1/100th of an inch of motor oil protecting your car's engine. Friction and heat causes engine oil to experience thermal breakdown, weakening its ability to protect the engine and its parts. Lucas Heavy Duty Oil Stabilizer is specially formulated to resist thermal breakdown, protect vital engine parts, and extend the life of your engine. It also stops smoking, knocking, and oil consumption in worn engines. Lucas Heavy Duty Oil Stabilizer. Keep that engine alive.
Alumatech Products is the premier aluminum cabinet company as well as custom aluminum trailer manufacturer. They specialize in custom cabinetry and production units. All the cabinets are built in-house by exceptional craftsmen. Alumatech Products also offer truck caps that are built from the ground up, starting with a framework all the way to a complete build. The folks at Alumatech are driven to produce quality, long-lasting products through innovative design to best suit you. For more information, go to alumatechproducts.com.
Missouri's must play getaway. Osage National Golf Resort.
3 9-hole courses to choose from at the Lake of the Ozarks in the Osage River Valley. Stay and play packages in our first-class condos. A beautiful clubhouse complete with pro shop and exercise facilities. A large pool for relaxation and families. The Eagle View Sports Bar and Grill. Great wedding facilities. Go online and make your tee time today.
Race fans, the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum is open 7 days a week, year-round, for you to come in and check out all of the wonderful race cars on display in the museum, and our online store at sprintcarstuff.com is open 24 hours a day for you to check out everything that we have in stock for sprint car fans. Whether it's for a birthday, anniversary, or Christmas, SprintCarStuff.com has it all. That's at the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum in Knoxville.
We not only look to the future, we design it. Our excellence and professionalism in craftsmanship, quality, and safety is unmatched in the industry. We are proud suppliers to some of the most elite race teams in the world. We build it, you drive it. We are here to help you win.
Next to your vehicle's engine, your transmission is the most important component of your car. If it's not properly maintained, your car may not shift properly. By adding Lucas Transmission Fix to your transmission, it cleans and lubricates sticking valves for proper shifting, renews worn bands to stop slipping, stops seal leaks, will not void new car warranties, contains no harmful solvents, Lucas Transmission Fix. It works.
Hey, this is Larry the Cable Guy, and you're listening to Racing Boys, and if you ain't listening to them, you get out of the country because you're a communist. I love the Racing Boys. Like Mater says, they make me happier than a tornado in a trailer park. You know the funny thing about that is the Larry voice and the Mater voice are exactly the same. Get her done!
Welcome to Hour 2 of Track Talk on the Racing Boys Broadcasting Network. Brought to you by Lucas Oil Products. Made in America, sold to the world. Here again are the Racing Boys, Scott Traylor and Kirk Elliott.
Welcome back. Hour number 2 of Track Talk brought to you by Lucas Oil Products. Made in America, sold to the world. Again, we want to thank Forrest Lucas, Brandon Bernstein, Dave Wanzer, all the great people over at Lucas Oil that believe in the Racing Boys and continue to support us over the years. Again, Lucas Oil Products, the sponsor of the new show that will be a daily show starting next year, mostly motorsports, with yours truly as the host, Monday through Friday, starting at 11 o'clock. It'll go to 11 to 12:30 in the beginning. We expect to expand that to 2 hours, so it should end up being 11 to 1 in the end. But in the beginning, it's going to be 90 minutes. I got the hiccups, Kurt. You had the hiccups.
A week ago, I had the hiccups real bad.
All day, didn't you?
I did for almost 2 days. I had it. So I'm not sure if it was something I ate or what. It's contagious. I didn't know hiccups were contagious. Did I
you
give
check
it to
your
you?
blood pressure when you were going through all that?
Yeah, it's fine. I check my blood pressure all the time.
No. Did you check your blood pressure when you had the hiccups?
I did.
Yes.
It was normal.
What was it?
120 over 82, something like that.
That's pretty good.
120, I think it was something like that.
Not bad.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
Yep.
Hey, Todd, guess what I did this week?
What's that?
I can't hear you.
Yeah, what's that?
I went to see Rival Sons down at the Truman.
Man, as a matter of fact, I was going to text
Let me tell you something, bud. That guy, your mic keeps going on and off. No?
Check.
It's your button, I think, over there. Anyway, let me tell you something about Rival Sons. Their lead singer, I know you've heard me say this, and I'm sure you're tired of hearing it, but I'm not sure I've heard a better lead singer in rock music.
Well, that's saying something.
In 20 years. I mean, that guy is remarkable.
You didn't say ever. You just said in the last
20 years. Jay Buchanan, one of the best vocalists I've heard. He's so powerful that he has to take his microphone this far away from his face, extend his arm completely out here to bring down the volume of his projection of his voice. Oh, my gosh. In fact, he has to take it all the way down as far as his arm will go down sometimes, or out as far as he can. Now, Adam, if you've got that big a range in your voice, and you're that strong, that's like the ultimate compliment when a guy's got to take that mic away like that, isn't it? Yeah. It's crazy, man. It was really good. They did one of their older albums. You know, this is one of the things that's going on now that I see a lot of bands doing. And maybe I can get you in on this conversation here, Adam. Is that from mine?
No, this is somebody else's, but same show.
Oh. So, Adam.
Here, I'll just go on.
It seems like in today's world, now, Adam, bring that down just a little bit. It seems like in today's world, Adam, in the music scene, that a lot of bands are going back and playing like 10-year anniversary records. It's kind of like a theme. You see a lot of people doing that now. Why is that so popular in the industry?
I mean, this would be an educated guess because I don't know for sure, but I would say maybe just to break the norm of everybody's releasing something every day. So, let's take it back to what we had 10 years ago.
But you know what I thought? I thought that listen, if you sing your entire gauntlet of music that you've made, your entire list, if you try to go through all your hits, it's like the way he sings. He really stretches it out, right?
Yeah.
I think by doing an album, he can control the damage he does to his voice more because he knows that I've only got 10 times where I've got to really ring it out.
Yeah.
You know, instead of doing 3 or 4 different albums where you got to ring it out all the time.
Yeah, it could be, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I don't know.
How old is he? The lead singer.
Jay Buchanan? I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know.
You live streamed this part of that the other night.
I did, yeah.
We watched that, and you know, it's not like being there, but boy, he can really belt it out. There's no doubt about that.
When did the guy bleach his hair blonde? That's what I wanted to know.
Listen, it was weird when he walked out on stage and he had blonde hair.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. When I saw it, I was like, "You sure this is Rival Sons?"
No, you know what I don't like about it? Because if you look at him right there, right? When he had his hair dark, he looked like Jim Morrison. And I think that was part of his persona, is that he drew you in. He made you feel like you're watching a modern-day Jim Morrison. Now he looks like he's the modern-day lead singer of Stone Temple Pilots.
You know, he reminds me of just watching the guy Dennis DeYoung or somebody like that. I don't know. That's the first guy that comes to my mind. I've never seen him before.
See how he pulls that mic back? Oh, that was awesome.
You were pretty close to the stage, too.
I was right up the front. Well, you know, I've traveled to Dallas and to Fort Smith, Arkansas to see these guys. I really think a lot of them. I'd go see them anywhere.
Well, that's one thing. You and I, our musical tastes are pretty similar.
Yeah.
So, you know, you don't like country like I do, but I like a lot of what you like. So that's one thing we got in common. You and me,
right. Well, I'm not a big twangy country guy. You know, the old country.
Oh,
as much as I love old blues, I'm not the same with old country.
Yeah. That's where you and I part company a little
my
bit,
dog getting run over by a car down on the highway, that kind of stuff.
But I like the blues like you do.
This makes me want to go.
Right. I like the blues like you do. And
well,
hard,
blues
the
is
heavy
good.
metal rock. And
you know who was down at Knuckleheads last night?
Say it.
Buddy Guy.
Buddy Guy.
I wish I would have went.
Yeah, I saw that.
I wish I would have went.
Oh, Buddy Guy.
So why didn't you go?
Because I had to be a DD. My kids and their mom went to see Jason Aldean last night at the
Where
Sprint
was he
Center.
at? He was at the T-Mobile Center.
T-Mobile Center.
So Jason Aldean was in town.
He was in town, and I got designated as the DD.
Oh boy!
So I had to go down and pick up my girls and my ex-wife last night.
You didn't go to the concert, but you just went to pick
No,
them
I
up.
just picked them up about 11:30.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Well,
that's my family.
I've never seen Jason Aldean in concert.
Oh, he's good. Yeah, he's good.
Of course, he was. Unfortunately, it was 4 years ago on October the 1st that he was involved in a terrible situation out in Las Vegas with that shooting out there.
Oh yeah, it was terrible.
That was 4 years ago, October the 1st. So yeah.
Kirk, what's the biggest race of the weekend around this area? Is it the USRA Nationals? Is it the Show Me Showdown? Is it the Racing Boys ASCS Warrior Region Championship night at Lake Ozark Speedway?
Well, I think they're all big. I can't think of there's one event that supersedes the other. I mean, you could say they're all big events.
Well,
the Show Me Showdown at Sweet Springs, the USRA Nationals at Lucas Oil Speedway.
I'll say it because you just wussed out on it.
No, I can't put one over the other. I can't.
I can.
And
USRA Nationals is the biggest event going on in the area.
Okay.
This weekend. And that's nothing against what's going on at Sweet Springs with Show Me Showdown. I know that's for micro racing. That's one of the big ones, right? We get that. It's one of the big ones. But you have 320 cars that are racing down at Lucas Oil Speedway, the Diamond of Dirt tracks in Wheatland, Missouri. And just the quantity of cars alone. Kirk, do we have a car count number from Sweet Springs? Can you find that?
I don't know what that is yet. So
it's not in their press release.
They don't have. They didn't put out a press release. They just got the listing of the.
Sweet Springs didn't put out a press release about who won.
They've got the results on myracepass.com, so you can count up all the cars in each class. And
come
get a car
on,
count.
Sweet Springs.
I don't know what the total.
Sweet Springs. You need a publicist. You got a big event like this. Please get a publicist.
They posted the results. That's what we see. So in order to get a total car count, you'd have to count up all the entries in each class.
I got the total car count on my race pass.
Austin, coming through for us.
Can you add them up for us here, Austin?
What is it, buddy?
So last night they had 4 classes, which was Outlaw, Restrictor, Non-Wing, and Junior Sprint. Had a total of 146 entries.
Oh, they did. Well, that was
4
quick.
classes,
Yes.
146 entries.
Yep.
What about the night before when they had 3 classes?
Hold on, Austin. That's a pretty good number for 4 classes.
That's not too bad.
That's pretty good.
They had, I'll get an average for you.
We need a total car count.
And then Thursday night, we had 3 classes. So
that's right, because I think Garrett run 4th, 5th,
Garrett
6th.
ran 6th in the B last night with non-wing.
Oh, he did?
Yeah. They had 62
So he didn't
non-wing
make
cars.
the show last night?
No.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Thank you, Austin. That was quick.
Well,
lots quicker than I can gather that information.
See, this is where he's going to be valuable
Yeah.
in the future. So are you working on the total car count right now, Austin?
Yeah.
All right. So we'll give him a minute to work that up. But 320 cars, USR. Listen, it's the first annual USRA Nationals down at Lucas Oil Speedway. And I got to believe.
Well, it's not the first USRA Nationals. They've had this event before.
Not at Lucas Oil Speedway, though.
Well, they've had it at other, Hamilton County Speedway
Kirk,
and other tracks.
Did you hear what I said? It's
Right.
the first annual at Lucas Oil Speedway.
Okay.
Right? It's the first one at Lucas Oil Speedway. Am I right?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So that's what I was saying. You want to throw a speed bump in there. Oh, it's not the first. Well, it's not the first. No,
Well,
it's the first
I
at
don't-
Lucas Oil Speedway.
Yeah, but
that's what I meant.
But so what? I mean, it's what? It's not the first annual event of the USRA Nationals.
We're not talking about other racetracks. We're
Right.
talking about Lucas Oil Speedway. That's why.
Okay.
So here's a total for the past 2 nights at Sweet Springs. There's 249 cars.
249.
Yep, or entries.
Total.
Yes.
All classes combined. 249. So, does that make... Now, Austin, I'm going to put a little pressure on you here. You're going to have an opinion. What would be bigger? Now, you're a former USA stock car driver, right? You've won in USRA before, correct?
Yes.
Right. What's bigger, USRA Nationals or Sweet Spring Show Me Showdown?
I would have to go with the USRA Nationals just because you got over 300 entries.
Right.
You got guys from all parts of the nation.
Right.
And there's not a slouch there. No knock on Sweet Springs. I mean, you got plenty of good guys coming there.
Tons of them.
But that's like your biggest race of the year. You got the shootout in, December. And, comparing those two events right now, I'd have to say with the
Is the
Nationals.
Hink bigger?
No, not really. I
No.
think it's kind of, died down over the years, but
So is the Show Me the biggest race of the year for Sweet Springs?
I would say that, or they have a race in July. I'm not sure the name of it. But they
John
bring
Hink
in,
Championship.
might be that one.
Yeah.
They bring in like USAC midgets and a couple, premier, micro classes.
Huh.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that.
I think it pays a little bit more on that race too.
I think 20,000.
Yeah. I think it was something like that.
Yeah, that's good comments, Austin. I'd have to go along with what you're saying. You have to say, the USRA Nationals is bigger because of what you just talked about, the car count.
See how that worked? We
Yeah.
tag teamed him into submission.
You got me into submission on that one.
Huh?
So,
how about that?
It's all settled now.
Austin, it had nothing to do with me, by the way. Just so you know.
Well,
it was
Austin
all you, buddy.
Austin did a good job of
he
laying
doesn't
it
care
out.
what I think over here, but you know what? When you put the third party in there.
Austin did a good job of laying it out.
Right.
He came armed with the facts and the numbers.
God forbid what I say.
Yeah, but you just threw it out there, but you didn't arm yourself with the numbers like Austin just got through doing.
Kurt, I had it in my head. I knew the car count was going to be lower at Sweet Springs. I'm just saying. I don't have to. It doesn't take me long to process. It just runs through my head, screams out, "Hey, what's bigger?" Now listen, the big race for me tonight, Austin, is down at Lake Ozark Speedway, and it is for you. And we'll be pulling for you, buddy. We hope that you get out there and win that championship tonight. It's going to be tough. You know that, right? It's going to be tough. This is not going to be a cakewalk. And Gunnar Ramey, all he's got to do to beat you for the championship, just stay close to you. We know that, right?
Yes.
I mean, he knows that. As long as he's got you in his sight, he knows that he's got it wrapped up. So what you've got to do is just get those elbows way up or way in. I don't know, whatever.
Nah, I got to keep them out at Lake Ozark.
You got to bow them out.
Yeah.
But Austin, isn't the pressure on Gunnar more than you? Wouldn't you think? I mean,
do you feel you don't feel pressure? You're not that kind of. That's not your makeup.
No, I really don't. I mean, just kind of coming in the week, it's just another race. Just go out there and try and win. And
sure,
I think if I was leading like Gunnar is, and I came into this knowing you got a guy in second that's been pretty good down there this year.
Right. You've been. What's your best finish down there this year?
I've only ran down there, I think, 3 or 4 times.
Have you ever won there?
No.
Huh.
I haven't won a sprint car race
But
yet.
you're always fast. Then.
Yeah.
It's
always
coming, though. Matter of time before you get that win.
You know what we need down there tonight? Nice, good racetrack.
Yeah.
Give us a nice, good racetrack where you don't have to bunny hop through the corners, and everything will be okay.
I would expect it to be a great racetrack tonight. They haven't had a whole lot of rain down there lately, so I would expect to be a great racetrack. Wouldn't you, Austin?
They've gotten better at working that track down there, for sure.
Yeah, ever since they kind of regrouped in June.
Yeah.
And
after that real bad night that we had down there.
Yeah, they kind of regrouped, and they had a couple local shows. Only 2 sprint car shows down there after that race, and it was smooth to a curb. So hopefully they can do that again. I wouldn't mind if it had a little curb to lean on, but.
All right, I want to say hi to Paul. He said good morning from Arlington, Washington. We want to thank him. Mark's down at Wheatland, Missouri, checking in with us. Let us know where you're giving us a call from or checking in from. Nina Jeniton said, good luck, Austin. Did you see that, where she said good luck to you? We love Nina. She's a great person. Anyway, I was just running back through there to make sure anybody had any questions. Listen, folks, how about we do it right now? First caller in, 816-833-8553, 816-833-8553. Free tickets to the Hollywood Casino 400, October 24th at Kansas Speedway. First caller right now, 816-833-8553, 816-833-8553. Todd, you can put that number up for me? First caller calls in, gets a pair of free tickets to Kansas Speedway. And we'll do that for a couple weeks here, right, Kurt?
We had Trenton Berry coming on here in a few minutes. He's down at Lucas Oil Speedway at the USRA Nationals. Give us an update of what's going on down there. Racing Dirt is carrying the live video all weekend long down at Lucas Oil Speedway. So
nobody does it better, right?
Right.
Yeah, those guys do a great job.
Lee Spencer, I'm not sure where she's at this morning. I thought we'd hear from her by now. So hopefully she'll be able to check in from Charlotte.
Well, we'll check in with her after we get done with Trenton Berry if we have to. So
yeah. So anyway, it's still a lot of racing going on in the month of October. Next weekend, you're going to be down at the Devil's Bowl Speedway, where the 48th annual Winter Nationals will take place. The Lanny Edwards Memorial, both Friday and Saturday night next weekend. That's the season finale for the Lucas Oil ASCS National Tour.
And it will be my final race with the Lucas Oil ASCS National Tour as well.
Yeah. What's the points battle looking like down there for next weekend?
You mean with the ASCS National Tour? Yeah, I'll give it to you here real quick.
Blake Hahn is going for his first championship.
I think Blake's got a 60-point lead, if I'm not mistaken.
This will be his first title, right?
Well, he hadn't won it yet, Kurt.
So
Blake Hahn has a 60-point lead over J.J. Hickle, who's trying to become the first rookie to win the national championship in his rookie year.
Yeah.
He's 60 points out. And Matt Covington, who's had a rough go of it here as of late, is 138 points out. And Dylan Westbrook, who was pretty close there for a little bit, was 220 points out, so he's out of the picture altogether. So it's really come down to J.J. Hickle and Blake Hahn in the final race.
Yeah. So, but I think that Blake Hahn's got the edge in turn, not just because he's out in front right now, but just because he's been a little bit more consistent.
He's got to do is just be consistent these last couple races.
Right.
Keep J.J. Hickle
I think it's going to
within range.
Going to be pretty
Tickets
tough
have
to
been given away.
Who's that? What'd you say?
We gave away those tickets, so just letting everybody know.
Okay.
It's going to be pretty tough to knock Blake Hahn off the perch, I think.
Well, I think you can only make up like 65 points in one night.
Yeah.
And he's got 60-point lead. So
not likely to happen.
But here's what he's got. He's got 2 nights at Devil's Bowl. And with Short Track Nationals getting rained out, they've moved those Short Track Nationals to the weekend after Devil's Bowl. Now, if I was Devil's Bowl, I don't know if I'd like that or not. I'd want my championship night at Devil's Bowl in the Winter Nationals.
Is that just show-up points for the
Short Track Nationals, first night is show-up points. The second night, the final night of the Short Track Nationals, is a full-blown points night for the Lucas Oil ASCS.
Oh, it is. It is a full points night.
So championship night for the season will be the final night of the Short Track Nationals down at Little Rock, Arkansas.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I wasn't aware. I thought it was just all show-up points for the whole weekend at Short Track.
The final night of Saturday night at Short Track Nationals will be the final point night for the Lucas Oil ASCS National Tour. So there's 3 nights. Blake Hahn, any one of those nights, if he has a hiccup, it could backfire on him.
And he's a 2-time champion of the Short Track Nationals. He runs well at Little Rock at Hammer Hill.
And he runs pretty good at Devil's Bowl as well.
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
Those are 2 great racetracks for him. So I'm still betting on Blake Hahn to pull this off.
But, Kirk, if you remember right, if you go back and you remember the start of the year, J.J. Hickle won the first 2 events of the 2021 season at
Devil's Bowl. Yeah. How about that?
So J.J. Hickle's got to feel pretty good about going into Devil's Bowl.
Yeah.
You know, that was a big eye-opener for everybody with the Lucas Oil ASCS National Sprint Car Tour. When Hickle come in and won those first 2 races, we're thinking, holy cow, look at this rookie. He's coming in here. Can he win this championship in his rookie year? And right now, he's only 60 points out of doing it.
But Blake needs, if Hickle goes back and duplicates what he did in March, then, Blake's just got to be within, it's kind of like what we were talking about with Austin.
Keep him close.
Keep him close. Keep him, Blake Hahn still get a good finish out of there. It's still going to be really tough for Hickle to take it away from him.
Trenton's online. Right. And then Lee's actually ready, but I'm going to let her know we're going to finish up with Trenton first.
All right, we'll do that.
Okay.
Cool.
Well, as we've been talking about today on the show, the biggest event of the weekend is happening down at Lucas Oil Speedway. It's the USRA Nationals going on down there. Over 320 cars participating. And who better to talk about it than our friend from RaceAdirt.com who's carrying the broadcast, Trenton Berry. How you doing, Trenton?
I'm here, I think.
Did you get any sleep
What time did you go to bed?
Let's not quite answer that one, but I'm here.
Was it after 4 o'clock?
Yes.
Oh, my God. Well, I appreciate you getting up and being with us.
Thank you. It is partially self-inflicted, so I'm here.
Oh, so you had to do a little work afterwards.
Yeah, never stops, right?
No, it's going to stop for me. I just announced here just a few minutes ago, this is my last year on the tour, and that, we picked up our title sponsor to our Mostly Motorsports podcast show that we're going to do Monday through Friday. Lucas Oil signed up for that. And so I am officially going to be off the road after this year, Trenton, after 13 years. Do you believe it?
Man, you put a lot of miles on all across America and the coast, and that's crazy, man. I'm happy for you.
Man, Trenton Berry, you've had some big events here in the last weeks, last month or so. Man, and these are major events that a lot of cars and a lot of nights of racing. How you holding up?
We're making it. You know, it's we always tell everybody September's one where you definitely kind of earn your keep. You know, it's September's it's a really busy month for us. It always is every single year. You know, we're pretty busy in March, but we're really busy in September, and it's, you know, we're getting busier in October now too. So I'm just, you know, fortunate for all that to have that. You know, as I said here right now, it's, you know, it seems a little overwhelming, but
yeah.
You know, once you kind of step back and take it all in, it's good. And, you know, it's great group to deal with all of it, to keep it all going. So.
Trenton, we were talking about it earlier, the magnitude of this event and what it means for USRA and the USMTS drivers that race around the country to go to such a track like Lucas Oil Speedway, the Diamond of Dirt tracks. This, for it being the first event down there of its kind, I know this has taken place at other tracks before now, but what does this mean for the series to go to such a venue like Lucas Oil Speedway, the Diamond of Dirt tracks, and everything that comes with it, all the amenities, everything? You know, it's just such a nice place. What's it mean for USRA and Todd?
Well, it's, first off, I mean, you've just solidified the future of your event, you know, and that's there's no other place to have this thing. They signed a 3-year contract, and they might as well throw it away. If you're Todd Staley in Lucas Oil Speedway, why in the world would you never run? You know, why would you ever run this anywhere else? And,
right.
And that's kind of been the general consensus from both sides. But you know, it was officially a 3-year deal. I don't know when they'll extend it. That this year, next year, somewhere down the road. But I don't how in the world this thing doesn't stay here. I would never be able to tell you. I mean, this is by far and away doubled, probably close to tripling. Some years it's at least doubled the very best year this thing's ever had before.
Oh wow!
Man, for a kid from southern Missouri to think that, you know, you're going to see this right here and to be able to put on a race of this magnitude, this is insane, guys. They've got 2 rows of cars in the boat pit area.
Oh, no kidding!
They've never pitted cars over there. This racetrack's never had this many cars for a race.
I've never seen that.
It's nuts. I'm posted up over on the midway where the boat track is, and man, I just kind of look out and around, and it's insane. It's honestly insane. The entire pit's full. You know, they pitted every row down horizontally. They did the front and backs there. They snuck a few more spots in back over on the back side of the fuel tanks over there.
Yeah.
And everybody else went to the boat pit. And,
wow.
I asked Dan. I said, man, how much? You know, what's left? He said, shoot, I don't know. He said, we could put at least 200 more. He said we could put at least 200 more down the boats before we ever had to think about where we could start putting other people. He said, if it gets to that point, we'll figure that out too.
You know, Trenton, do you think there's a chance that it could grow to, you know, we always talk about Boone National has the highest car count of anything, right? You know, do you think there's a day when the USRA Nationals down at Lucas Oil Speedway could maybe compete with the quantity of cars that run at Boone? You think there'd be a day that could happen down there at Lucas Oil Speedway with USRA?
Man, I don't know if it ever gets to that point. You know, you're going to have to have, you know, that level of tracks and licensed drivers. And,
right.
You know, I was kind of surprised. So Todd did tell me they had over 400 licensed B-Mod racers, you know, so I didn't know that before. And there's a lot of that stuff that, you know, it's not just, you're not going to see that in every press release that comes out, right? I don't know that it gets there, but I think there's another 100 for sure. USRA sanctions a couple of divisions in the South, USRA factory stocks and USRA limited mods, and they're talking about, you know, adding those to the program and giving those guys a share of the spotlight too. And there's a bunch of those cars. You know, I don't know total sanctioned, you know, licensed drivers in those, but a lot. You know, we go to some races in Texas, and those are always the sport classes, it seems like, anymore. And in that region, the car counts are big. So I don't know if it gets there, but shoot, I'm pretty happy with what's here. There's 323 right here. I see a roadmap to 450, 500, for sure.
Yeah.
So what is the format? What's been run so far? You had double features last night, the night before last. So how's that all lay out for the final day today?
Yeah, and so it's kind of a work in progress too. The double features was a thing if some of the classes got bigger. If total entries grew, and so there's just one set of heats for everything, and then guys are going to other features. Then they split the features out from there, the B mains and all, and so they've been full programs every night. They adjusted from night 1 to night 2. They cut somewhere, I don't remember the exact total, but over 100 laps out of the program the second night total, just shortening some races down, trying to just kind of keep a handle on the magnitude of the event. And so there'll be some last chance races, and on my race pass today, the fronts of those A mains are already set, and looks to me like they're going to be a 3-wide start, which I hadn't heard. But the modified race is 40 laps, so it's going to be 3,000 to win.
Hey, what do the competitors think about those 3-wide starts?
Oh, it's kind of a
mixed bag.
I didn't know that was what was going to happen here. I didn't see that ahead of time. I'm sure it was conveyed somewhere, on the driver's side of things, but I didn't see that. So they do this at the WISSOTA 100 too. They start all their A mains 3-wide. When I was there, it was kind of a topic of conversation. It just kind of seemed like, racers will do whatever. So it didn't seem like it was too big of a deal, really. I've heard them complain before when they didn't think racetracks were wide enough for it. So, as long as the racetrack will allow for it, it's
not a big deal.
It's kind of a neat deal, I think.
Yeah, I mean, as a car owner, I'd be a little concerned about it if I'm starting in the middle between two guys that I might get tore up a little bit. But, I don't have to worry about that anymore because I don't own race cars, so it doesn't bother me a bit.
If you qualify in the middle of the 6th, 7th, 8th row, it'd be a little different than if you're in the middle of the first or second row, for sure. You're probably not much of a fan if you're back there a little bit.
Right, you feel like you might be a pinball.
Yeah,
right.
Sure.
Yeah,
I'm not, we've all seen that happen before too. That's a real thing that can easily happen.
Yeah, Trenton, what time does your broadcast get underway? Now, if I remember right, when I tuned in early last night, you were replaying the night before. Are you going to do that again today?
Replaying the night before.
Maybe I just clicked on the wrong link and I played the night before.
Yeah, no, I don't think we'll do that. There is one thing we're going to do today, though, a little bit different.
All right.
There's some kind of promoters race with go-karts going on today. So they're going to do that at 2:00, and Kevin Rogers, who's this kind of a world-class personality in our world for sure. He's been on with me filling a bunch of downtime this week, and they've been smack talking back and forth, and there's 7, 8, 10 promoters. I didn't get the rundown exactly, but there's going to be a promoters race on the go-kart track at 2:00, and we are going to stream that on our Facebook page. So,
what time is that going to be?
Yeah, 2:00. So that's our first order of business today. It's kind of the way that go-kart track lays out, guys. I mean, you've been here so much to see. We were trying to think about, all right, well, how in the world are we going to film this? And we got to get a camera up high enough. And, we're going to shoot that thing from the back corner of the 3rd level suite tower. Provides a great shot.
That's where I would have done it.
Back.
Exactly. Yeah.
So we're going to do that at 2:00, and I don't know how long that's going to last. Probably around half an hour or something like that. So, and then we're racing at 5 again tonight. So.
All right.
And
so live stream starts at 5:00.
Yeah, and I'm sure we'll have it just a little bit before that, but yeah, that'll be go time right around there. I believe it's 5:00 that we're starting. So, yeah.
Any predicaments who you think might win tonight?
I think Dustin Sorensen will be pretty hard to beat in the modifieds, but anything can happen. You know, it's been kind of cool. These USMTS drivers, we've had a good group of them here to race and compete. So Sorensen's looked good. Jake Timms looked good. Tyler Wolf's looked really good. Tanner Mullins looked good. Corey Crapser's looked good. So
who knows?
Yeah, it's just kind of a pick 'em. There's not one guy in any division that I've seen just walk away with it every time they've been on the racetrack. So that from that aspect of it, it's been pretty cool. You know, they had a ton of rain here on Wednesday, and practice got started a little later just because they had to get the track, you know, beat down and packed tight and ready to go. And the whole facility was really wet, and it's been nice the last couple of days. It's kind of dried out and been really nice. The weather looks good today. Kind of warm, you know. The 86 I saw was. I didn't look today, but yesterday that was the high that I saw. So that's pretty warm for this time of the year.
I think it's supposed to be 90 today.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So there we go. Even a little bit warmer.
More to look forward to, Trenton.
Yeah. Well,
hopefully we keep the warm weather around. You got a big event at Lakeside Speedway coming up at the end of this month, the Grant Youngans Memorial. So I don't know what the weather's going to be like by then, but
you'll be carrying that live as well, right?
For sure, yeah. For this fat boy, I'm good with 65, but I'll take whatever, you know.
Whatever. you know, you were a lot thinner when you used to work here. Just saying.
Yeah, no doubt about that.
Yeah,
sure.
No, you got all fat and happy on me.
Well, I don't know about that, but I got fat, so yeah.
I think you're a little bit happy too.
Man, we've been busy. We've been busy this last little bit. And we got some good stuff left to go, you know, and it's crazy because you know, USMTS is just raised the bar so much, and it's not like it's more pressure because it's the same stuff we've always done, but it just kind of feels like it because every race is so important, you know, and there's so many race cars coming and so many people interested in mod racing, which is cool because, you know, you always kind of wondered, and you see these fields and you see all these B mods or whatever, and you wonder about modified racing and where it's at, and it's cool to get to an event like this and you really see that it's alive and well, and there's a ton of, you know, it's 70 some modifieds, and I really wondered when the week started what that was going to entail. So that part of it, for what racing there does from that side of things, it's been really cool.
Yeah. Trenton, listen, unlike weekly racing, we see the car counts down at our weekly tracks at like Lakeside. I'm sure you heard that CMS dropped the A mods, one of the best paying tracks in the country. They've decided to go away from the mighty modifieds, which just blows me away that Earl would do something like that, to be honest with you. But it doesn't seem to hurt the touring series, USMTS guys. You still get plenty of cars with that, don't you?
Yeah, and you know, it's kind of pocket based too. That KR I was telling you guys about, Kevin Rogers down in Texas, you know, they were over 20 modifieds a week, and Deer Creek gets a great field of modifieds. Fountain City, Wisconsin gets a great field of modifieds. That was Soda 100 we went to. There's a ton of racetracks up in, you know, central Minnesota, the Dakotas. Their modified counts are incredible. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, you know, right here where we're at, it's kind of a tough spot, and I don't love it because the B mods have provided an option to have a really nice race car for not nearly the same amount of money. And, you know, me as somebody that watches races, you appreciate what everybody wants to do. And, you know, I'm big on people racing what they can afford, Scott. I know you and I have talked about that a lot over the years. Race what you can afford to race.
Right.
Don't sacrifice your quality of life and your family, right? Like, take care of all that stuff. And so I get that too, but man, it doesn't take very long, and it doesn't take Einstein to look down a USRA B mod list and realize, oh, hey, great, this is where the modifieds have went. So, I don't know. I don't really know what the answer is. You know, right here where we're at, Wheatland, they got a good field of modifieds weekly.
Right.
and the cars are there, you know, and the racers are there too. It's kind of been hyper focused here lately, and I think Lawrenceburg took a lot of that spotlight for the fact that they didn't. But you know, I don't. How do you begrudge a guy that wants to pay $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 and don't feel like they're getting their money's worth? You know, it'd be bad business to try to encourage somebody to keep doing that too. So, man, he's done so much for them. How do you just got to do what they think's best for them, and if that's best for them, I wish them the best.
You know what?
I love that racetrack.
You know what blows me away about CMS? He'll pay $5,000 to win, right? And still only get 25 cars. I don't know. I don't know if it's Earl and the racetrack or what it is, but for $5,000 you think you get 30, 40 cars. And he usually gets about 25.
Sounds to me like it's time to get a USMTS race at CMS. Come on.
All right. Fair enough.
Maybe we'll get one of them boss lady Sam, Allen, Earl, Susan. Let's at least get the word back to them. It's USMTS hunting season around here. I know there's some holes on that schedule. Well, I just make that happen, you know.
You know what?
Shoot, I don't know what the answer is, man. I went through a ton of those Tom Wilson races over the years, and you know they had huge turnouts of fans, and man, that Pub 13 that's over there is so nice. I've talked to Sam along the way, and the last time I was there, it wasn't quite finished, but man, to see Earl's vision for that place and what it was, and then to see it come to fruition, that part of it's really cool. That's one of the cleanest racetracks. That thing nationally is low key, and I think it would be cool to see it not low key, because I'm telling you guys, that place is incredible, you know, and it's nothing you guys don't know, but a lot of people in the USRA, USMTS world, and you talk about the mod world, I get a bunch of questions about it, whatever, and I'd love to see I'd love to see a USMTS racer, and I'd love to kind of be the one to stir that hornet's nest to get that conversation going again about it.
Hey, I don't know if you heard the rumor, but they're talking about shortening up Lakeside Speedway. What's your thoughts?
Oh, again, that's another one. As a rule of thumb for me, small tracks over big tracks, 100% of the time, every day of the week. With that said, Lakeside is one of the big ones that races really good.
I agree.
So that's kind of my catch-22, and I don't know if I have really a strong opinion. You know, what's funny about coulda, shoulda, wouldas in racing? It was a lot easier when I was 20 years old to have coulda, shoulda, wouldas in racing before I had ever spent a lot of time running up and down the road, before I'd ever put money into the sport, before I ever really had a concept of what these promoters did and what they put on the line to make their operation go. It was a lot easier to have all those answers, at that time of my life than it is now. I don't know. I don't really have a big opinion. I love the racetrack. I love the racing it provides. From just purely a fan standpoint, I would hate to see one of the good ones of that go. Now, listen, there are a ton. If you were to ask me and say, hey, what about shortening up XYZ Speedway? Go for it. Great.
Right.
Let's start tomorrow. But man,
that's a tough one.
That's one of the good ones right there. So I don't.
Here's what I say, Trenton. If because they talked about making it a 3/8, and really all it is a 4/10 of a mile. It's not a true half mile to start with. It's 4/10 of a mile. So if you shorten it up to 3/8 of a mile, it's not going to be much shorter than it is now. So if you're going to shorten it up, make it a quarter mile. I mean,
right.
if you're going to do it right. Make it a quarter mile, put it on the inside of the big track, leave the big track there for specials if you want to run it, and run the quarter mile weekly.
Well, that's kind of an interesting scenario. I hadn't really thought about one inside of one. That's happened a few places.
Sure has.
We used to go to Davenport, Iowa a bunch. MLRA raced there, and they still race there a bunch now, and they've got a half and a quarter on the inside. That just off the top of my head comes to mind. And, they ran that quarter a lot more than they did the half, but they still raced the half some too. And that was one that was kind of a monstrosity. You tell me, hey, they're looking to shorten up State Fair Speedway. Great, perfect. I'm glad they're going to finally have a race.
Right,
track.
they need to do it there.
Yeah. So 100%. When do the excavators start?
Right,
I'd like to make sure that thing goes ahead and gets started. So
yeah.
That something like that's a totally different scenario. Lakeside races really got. I used to love seeing those things fly down the back stretch and you kind of fan out there and see them all over through 3 and 4, and it was never one of those where I was like, oh great, another motor killer. So I never thought about it in those terms. It was always the action was really good there, and it was that was kind of rare,
Right. I think I speak for I think I speak for you and me both. Leave it alone.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really have a, whatever. Hey, this day and age, whatever's going to make the place operate and keep going.
Yep, I hear you.
Whatever that is. So, and however that looks for the people running.
All right, Lee, before we let you go, we got Lee Spencer waiting on us. Give us the start times again for tonight's broadcast on racingdirt.com or .tv, right?
Yeah, either one, whatever, however.
Yep, .tv would be a good place to go. Check out their app. It's a great one. Tell us what time everything gets underway tonight on your broadcast, Trent.
Yeah, so we're planning to start this thing around 5 o'clock tonight. And of course, that'll be dependent on what they do with the race and how the racetrack gets dialed in and everything's been on time. They've been on time the first 2 nights, so somewhere around 5 tonight. We'll get things rocking and rolling. That's always a hard question for me, Scott, because we always got to show up at the racetrack after lunch and work till we get going. But somewhere in that neighborhood. And I think they're starting. It might be starting at 6 o'clock tonight. So anyway, we'll have stuff up and running there plenty of time ahead of time.
All right.
For action.
All right, Chiefs Bills tomorrow night. What's the score?
I'm going to the game. Come on.
All right, you are.
I am. Man, I haven't been around that many people in a long time.
I'm jealous.
I took 2 shots in my right arm a while back. If that's what we're supposed to do to live life again, I guess I'm going to go live life someday.
Yeah.
I got a little anxiety about it. So
we did it too.
At some point, we got to give it a shot, though, again, right?
Yeah. That's right.
It'll be fine.
All right.
I'm pumped.
All right, Trenton, we got to get to Lee Spencer. She's been hanging on for a long time, so we'll let you go. Good luck with your broadcast tonight. Have a good one down there, and hope it all goes well for you.
All right. See you guys.
All right. There he is, Trenton Berry from racingdirt.com. All right, let's bring in Lee Spencer, our own. She has been hanging out, very patiently waiting on us. Thank you, Lee, for waiting. Audio.
Here.
There we go. All right. Now we got you.
Hey.
Sorry about that little delay.
No, it's my fault because I was having computer issues earlier, and so I apologize for my delay.
God, we hate
everything up this morning. Oh no.
Hate computer issues. That
Yes.
just ruins your day.
So Lee,
Yeah.
what'd you think of last week's race?
Bubba, the winner.
No. I mean, that part of it was
good.
Was good, right? I mean, it's always great to have a first-time winner, and given the circumstances surrounding that, I mean, haters are going to hate, and you can't fix stupid. So, other than that, for a first-time team and a first-time driver to get an opportunity like that, I thought it was phenomenal, and it's been a while in the making. People, the haters, of course, are going to say, well, it was a rain-shortened race. Well, it was a restrictor plate track.
They wanted Bubba to win.
Huh?
They wanted Bubba to win. You hear all that
I
stuff.
mean, you go through the whole laundry list of crap, basically. But, you know, at the end of the day, that team won. And I was really happy for Booty. It was like 443 attempts Booty had tried to win a cup race, and he finally pulled it off. And
what is that? Is that a bird?
You know, I think that what you're going to see now that the pressure is off of Bubba, now that he is a cup winner, is he going to win every week? No. But does he have a better opportunity? Is some of, you know, the monkey off his back where he can just kind of keep going and, you know, not have to worry about it,
right,
and just do his thing without that, you know, that big, you know, weight on his shoulders. I mean, now that he's won, it's, you know, it's kind of like game on. He's got an opportunity to go and do, you know, at least show us what he's capable of accomplishing.
Well, was there any option to wait that out and try to get that race restarted? Was there no scenario that would have worked?
You know, you give it a little bit longer, maybe, but I have to tell you, you knew Sunday they were going to try to move it because NBC had the football game with the Tom Brady returning to Foxborough, and so you knew what, you know, their number one priority was the NFL. It's always the NFL. It's always going to be the NFL.
Right,
so,
right.
You know, you move it to Monday, and you know, it was. Could they have waited? Probably, but I mean, I think they have a really good idea as far as how long it takes to dry the track and what have you to try to just continue the craziness. And you know, honestly, looking at the radar going into that deal, we could have been well into you know, Tuesday. It was, you know, the storms this year have been nuts. So
I don't think they could have done anything different, really. They waited it out as long as they could. I just don't see how they could have done anything different.
Hey, let me ask you, Lee, is Spire trying to buy another team, another charter?
Oh, they have been, and I'm trying to.
How many are they up to right now?
They had 3. They sold 2. They're trying to acquire another one. I believe that one has come from the Derek Cope. What was the Derek Cope team?
Was it the 99?
Starcom Racing. And
yeah.
I think it's just a matter of time before they announce that they've acquired that charter.
That's the 99 team, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. You know, I love the guys over at Spire. They're great friends of mine. They do a lot for me over the years. But I got to ask this tough question once in a while. What Spire does that leave a bad taste in the mouth of the other teams, what they're trying to do, buying and stuff?
Absolutely not.
It doesn't?
Absolutely not. Why would it?
No, I'll tell you why. Because I think sometimes, and correct me if I'm wrong, but maybe Spire might overpay a little bit more than what those charters are worth, and they're driving up the cost of the charters.
It's a free market, you know. That's capitalism at its finest. It's no different. I know I've brought up this analogy before. It's no different than the housing market right now.
Right.
I don't know what housing's doing in Kansas City,
crazy.
But it's batshit crazy here in Charlotte. And you know, Charlotte, any of the retirement communities. I mean, you go down to the, you know, Carolina beaches, you go down to Florida. It's just absolutely nuts. And so, I mean, it's it's all supply and demand. I mean, that's economics 101. I mean, you guys were all taught Keynesian theory when you took economics in college. And it's just, you know, it's very basic. And
well, hold on a second. Lee, just so you know, I was a high school dropout.
Well, I was too, but I went back. But
I didn't. I should have, but I didn't.
I say that I transferred to a high school. They went on strike. I went back to my original high school. So, I mean, I don't think that maybe that doesn't constitute. But anyway, it's, you know, it's supply and demand. There are 36 charters. They have different values. You know, you get what you pay for as far as, you know, I hate to say cliche, but there are certain levels of these charters, and some of them are worth more. And when there's only so many to go around and there are people who want to get in the game, it changes the game. So don't hate the players, hate the game, right?
What is the average value of a charter? About $10 million right now, you think?
I think some of the top ones, I would not be surprised if the one that they negotiated for Kurt Busch over at 2311 went for 15.
Wow, no kidding.
Yep.
So that's the high end of the charter value is 15. You would.
Oh,
think.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But that's that is what we're looking at. So, it just really just depends on, what you're looking for, what you need, and honestly, what the sponsors are willing to pay. You got a sponsor who wants your guy to be up in the, to be a player every week. It's going to be a little bit different game, and some of these, sponsors are willing to kick in and make it worth their while to get this stuff done.
Well, let me, as you know, TJ Pusher and Jeff Dickerson are some pretty smart dudes, and they figured it out, and they're doing it. I don't know how they do it, but they're doing it. And
I think they've got some benefactors behind them too.
Yeah,
so
for sure. Yeah,
that doesn't hurt, right?
No, never. All
right, let's talk about this race tomorrow. The way that everybody lines up
let's
here.
talk about the race today. I mean, hell, you have 7 open spots today, and I posted a story up on racingboys.com about the Austin Cindric and H.A. Allmendinger matchup. I mean, it's sprinkling here, a little bit wet. We're going to head over the track in a little bit, but you have 7 spots up for grab in the round of 8 going up to the next round. And, with the wet conditions at the Roval right now, and you have so many hungry drivers, it could be absolutely nuts. I'm actually looking more forward to this because I think what you're looking for, Kirk, not to interrupt you again, but when you look at the 4 guys that are below the cut line on the Cup side, I mean, really, if none of them win, I think Harvick's really the only one with a realistic shot of racing his way into the next round. Something would have to happen with one of the guys that's in the top 8 already, but looking at what Harvick and Harvick and Hamlin are the only ones to have posted top 10 finishes in all of the races in the postseason. And I asked Harvick yesterday, he was on our little media roundtable on Zoom, and I said, as part of the reason you've really picked up the pace here in the postseason is the fact that we're returning to tracks for a second time. And the same complaint that Kyle Busch had last year about without practice, without testing, without anything, it is just such a struggle to get the car dialed in. These top teams, they have limited number of tires, because Goodyear assigns how many tires, Goodyear and NASCAR assign how many sets they can have. But when you look at it from that standpoint, if you're a Rick Ware racing car, you're not going to go out and spend the $1,800, $2,000 for a set of tires to go out and try things for a couple of laps like a Joe Gibbs Racing or a Stuart Haas Racing. You couple that with them having to figure out after their cars were in the gray area with the wheel wells last year, trying to figure out what the aerodynamic changes are, how you get that working, and just trying to figure out everything, with the car, the different configurations, having the opportunity to come these tracks the second time. Harvick's really picked up the pace. So, when I look at the landscape for who could go to the round of 8 after tomorrow's race at the Roval, Harvick's really, Byron could win. Yeah, Bell could get lucky, won the Daytona Roval, but my money is really on Harvick as being the one guy that can kind of break through and race his way into that next round. I don't think he's going to win tomorrow, but I think he can accumulate enough stage points and the like to become a player.
Who does he knock out?
I've always found it hard to bet against Kevin Harvick.
Right. But who does he knock out?
That's a good question. When I was on Sirius a couple of weeks ago, Bob Parker said he didn't expect Ryan Blaney to get to that final round. Blaney's really good at the Roval.
He won this race, 3 years ago, 3 years ago.
Some misfortune had to happen, but you got to keep yourself in the hunt, right? So he was in the hunt and he made it happen. But, boy, it's so hard looking at that group because the one thing I give Keselowski credit for is being a lame duck and not having the level of the equipment that a Joe Gibbs Racing has right now, or Team Hendrick. I mean, Team Hendrick, they're like the absolute ballers out there of late. I mean, yeah, they've had a couple off weeks, and their drivers just really took a beating at Talladega, including your boy Kyle Larson. But it's, Keselowski has used his talent, his experience to overcome being the lame duck guy in the playoffs. And I think that has really served him well. And, unless something goofy happens, whoever gets knocked out of the top 8, it will be because they got wrecked, had a mechanical. It'll be mistakes. And right now, when it comes to not making mistakes, Keselowski has just been balls out.
Well, I don't know. I think Harvick's got his work cut out for him, who he's got to get knocked out. Somebody's got to have trouble.
Don't bet against
Somebody
him.
Has to have problem. You're right. Someone has to have trouble. But if there's one guy with the experience and the talent and the chutzpah to capitalize on someone else's misfortune, it's Happy himself.
Yeah, no doubt.
I'm with certainly you. Do it. There's no doubt about that. Larson's got to start 10th in this race. How important is the starting positions?
No big deal.
That people have to have in this race. Hamlin on the pole.
It's more critical on a road course than other places, right? Because it's just that much more difficult to make it up on a road course. But that being said, Larson, until he got into the barrier at the Daytona road course, he was coming. He had a car. I mean, I really like how the Hendrick cars have looked on the road courses this year, which, if Byron hadn't had such a bad finish, I mean, this kid has had the cars. He had a better car than, Larson did 2 weeks ago. And I just, I keep looking at, I don't know what it is about that team, but I really think that he's somebody that could be a player given the right circumstances. I don't see the killer instinct out of Alex Bowman. I think if he ever developed that he could be lethal, but just haven't seen it yet.
Well, that's what Kyle Larson's all about, that killer instinct.
Well, he makes the most of it. And, the one thing, well, I won't say the one thing, there's several things, but, one thing that keeps him really sharp from racing short tracks all the time is restarts, because you have such a short window to get your job done. And so he's always set on go. And I think that having that kind of mentality serves him well. Because I don't know if I brought this up to you guys in the last couple of weeks, but one of the interesting things that Keselowski said is that everybody is racing every week like they're racing the last laps at Martinsville. And if you have, if that's the
mentality,
tempo of a race, then that serves Larson. That's right in his wheelhouse.
So what's the mindset of this team? Cliff Daniels, I think everybody agreed, self-inflicted decisions that, cause some issues at Las
Weeks
Vegas.
In a row, I would say.
Yeah, but last week, he got caught up in an incident that was kind of caused by his teammate a little bit. It turned Justin Allgaier into him, and the rest of the day was just trying to survive.
Well, and the other thing, that's the one thing. If that race goes green, they're fine. The fact that race got rained out really cost Larson probably more than most, because he could have finished ahead of the guys that were all taken out in that wreck that, inevitably brought out the caution and ended the race.
That's true. But, he's really thanking his lucky stars for winning that regular season championship that had those huge
points.
Amount of playoff points that went with him when the playoffs began.
But, would you have expected him to, having to be fighting for his playoff life? I mean, you just don't. I mean, it happened to Harvick. We saw what happened to Harvick last year. So, Denny's the one that's sitting, so pretty, having won that first race, have nothing to worry about at Talladega, have nothing to worry about the Roval, which he hates, and still hasn't figured it out. I mean, it's really, they've done what they've needed to do. He turned it on during the playoffs, and that's really been his saving grace.
All right, Lee, before we let you go, what do you got coming up this weekend on Racing Boys?
Well, we put up one story about the Xfinity rival. We're working on another one about the Cup rival. And, the cool thing is that if we don't see Kevin Harvick advance today, I think he's going to make Chase Elliott's life a living hell for the final 4 races.
Oh, he will.
I think that will make for must-see TV.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I'm with you.
No
All
doubt
right,
about
Lee,
that.
thanks so much for everything. We appreciate you. Travel safe to the races today. Get home safe. And
you don't have far to go, though, do you?
No, not today. And get sleep in my own bed, which is always a good thing. And,
that's a nice thing. Yeah.
What can I say? How are the Chiefs looking for this weekend?
It's going to be a tough one. It's going to be a hard win for us this weekend. Yeah.
Sorry about your Cardinals the other night. That was a tough one.
They gave it a valiant effort. I cannot. Putting Waino on the mound to be a 40-plus-year-old pitcher and do what he did is nothing short of miraculous. He carried that team on his back, you got to admire him for what he has done, because most guys just don't have the kind of career that Waino did, and he signed up for another year. So he and Yachty will go out together, and it'll be a storybook ending. Hopefully it'll end better than it did this year. But, before the All-Star break, they were underneath 500. So to see what they were able to do over the second half of the season, I thought was really, remarkable.
Pretty incredible.
Pretty good stuff.
Yeah.
All right, Lee, thanks so much. We appreciate you.
Thanks, guys. Have a good week.
Thanks,
All right.
Lee.
Thank you, Lee. There you have it. Lee Spencer joining us here on Track Talk, and she always does a great job, as usual. Find her work on our Scoop page on racingboys.com.
Yeah, that story she just posted, Cedric Allmendinger rivalry takes center stage at Charlotte Roval. So read that on the Scoop page right now.
All right, Kirk, one more time, we'll let everybody know that tonight we have 2 broadcasts going live on racingboys.tv. Those 2 races are the Racing Boys ASCS Warrior Region presented by Impact Signs, Awnings, and Wrap at Lake Ozark Speedway. Not Lakeside, Lake Ozark Speedway. Our own Austin O'Neill will be battling out for the championship with Gunnar Ramey. So championship on the line down there at Lake Ozark Speedway tonight. Also, if you want to watch another broadcast, we have the ASCS Sooner and Mid-South region. They're at Tri-City Speedway in Oklahoma. That is a Mid-South championship night. That's not
Paxton Gregory battling it out with Landon Crawley.
But it's not the Sooner region finale.
No. Sooner's got a couple more races yet to go.
Right. And then don't forget our friends over at racingdirt.com or .tv have tonight's USRA action down at Lucas Oil Speedway. You can watch it over there as well. Trenton and Stick do a great job with their broadcast over there. So you can give that a whirl.
And be excited to watch Port Royal tonight, the finale of the Nittany Showdown.
Is that on
Dirt Vision's
Dirt
carrying
Vision?
that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Has Flo got anything on tonight?
They were supposed to have the All-Stars. Last night got rained out at Fremont, so they'll try to go at it tonight at Fremont after they got washed out last night.
That's all they got going on there tonight?
They could have some other events going on, but that's the big one.
Well, I'll take.
And I think they were the USAC midgets were, as you pointed out earlier in the show, got rained out last night at Wayne County, the Jason Leffler Memorial. And I was just checking to see if there was another.
They've got the Street
tonight.
Stock Nationals at Bridgeport Motorsports Park. They've got the 2021 Short Track Super National Weekend at Afton Motorsports Park. And then they've got the 2021 Cotton Classic at Keller Auto Speedway. That's all tonight on Flow.
And, Fall Brawl at Lucas Oil Raceway. That's an Indy.
Mm-hmm.
Tri-State Speedway in Hobstadt, not the Tri-State Speedway we're going to tonight with the Racing Boys. There's 2 Tri-State Speedways. The one in Oklahoma tonight is the one we're carrying with the ASCS Sooner and Mid-South region, but Tri-State Speedway in Hobstadt hosting USAC Midgets tonight. So
good stuff. A lot of options. If you can't make it out tonight and you want to watch it on online, you've got some options there. All right, I want to thank everybody for tuning in to the show. It's all been brought to you by Lucas Oil Products, made in America, sold to the world. Again, Forrest and Brandon, Dave, all you guys over there at Lucas Oil, we want to thank you again for everything you do for Racing Boys. Also want to thank Austin O'Neill, Todd Surprise, Adam Bartland for coming in here doing their job this morning, making the show look pretty for you guys that are watching online. Also want to thank Blake back at Sports Radio 810 WHB for hour number 1, helping us at the radio station. For my partner, Kirk Elliott, I'm Scott Traylor saying thanks for tuning in. We'll do it all over again next week starting at 8 o'clock. It's Lucas Oil Products Track Talk, and it's all been on RBN, the Racing Boys Broadcasting Network.